Syracuse is hard to match up with. They're a run and gun team, and they just enjoy playing lacrosse, and they're crowd pleasers.
Some of those crowd pleasers include Syracuse junior Doug Jackson of JD High School. He has 7 goals so far this year. The team's leading scorer is junior Rob Cavett. He has single-handedly won 2 games for SU this season with fourth-quarter scoring explosions. And we all know what sophomore Casey Powell of Carthage can do just about anything on the lacrosse field, including moves like this. That's the SU story. What about Towson State?
I really haven't seen Towson play, nor do I have a common opponent at the state to compare with. So we're kind of walking into this game unknown, except for who either left school or graduated, and personnel who's back from last year. The new boys on the block, I know nothing about, and I really don't know how they put it all together for this year, but we'll find out and we'll adjust accordingly.
So now the Orangemen venture into the unknown against Towson State here on Super Sports Today. From the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, it's 1996 NCAA men's lacrosse. The Towson State Tigers with a 1-2 record take on the Syracuse Orangemen coming in at 2-2. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Super Sports coverage of SU Lacrosse. Dave Ryan alongside Dale Dreipolcher, and the Orangemen happy to be back under the Teflon roof as well, Dale. After a 2-game road swing, they won against Yale down in Florida and a loss to Johns Hopkins Saturday in Baltimore. All of a sudden, the Orangemen ranked 7th in the nation. They can't remember the last time they were so low ranked.
Well, you know, it's kind of going as I expected. I think when you lose 3 All-Americans defensively and a great goalie, that's the kind of thing that's going to take time to recover from. They got to gel. They haven't yet. We didn't see them against Hopkins, but we think they improved, but they got to keep the improvement up. It's a big game for them today defensively.
Let's check the new numbers then in the U.S. ILA poll. We'll see. Number 1 is Virginia. The Orangemen, of course, lost to the Cavaliers in week 1 this year by 2 goals. Syracuse 7, and there's Towson State at number 17. Hopkins just having knocked off the Orangemen last Saturday in Baltimore, ranked number 5. So the Orangemen have improvements to make, Dale, no question. On defense, you lose 3 All-Americans, as you said. It's not going to be an easy adjustment, certainly, to make this season. They've got to make improvements now, though.
Yeah, they do, and as I said, this is the game to do it. And this Towson State team, this is going to be a good team. They do a lot of different things. We're going to see some zone defense. They're going to try to get Syracuse off their stride, so it's going to be an interesting game.
Let's hear from head coach Roy Simmons then on improvements on defense and what has to happen today against those Tigers.
I think defensively, it's hard to say that when you see that Johns Hopkins had 56 shots off. But a team of that caliber getting 56 shots off and we allowed 14 goals, and the amount of time they owned the ball, I think is showing that we're either throwing them off the target, Jason's come up big, or a defense is not giving them great shot selection.
Dale, in this series, the Orangemen have dominated the Tigers. Syracuse has not lost to Towson since 1973, but this may be the year Towson can turn it around. They're 1-2. They've got some pretty good players on both sides of the field. The question is, have they had enough practice to get ready for a game like this?
Well, Carl Runk's one of the few guys who says, I'm really happy to be playing Syracuse in the Dome. Usually that's not a statement you hear. They've had lousy conditions, and he's just happy to be here and able to play in a dry field where he can get his guys at 100%. So that's an important factor for Runk and Towson.
Let's hear then from Carl Runk, the 29th year head coach of Towson State, about finally being inside out of the bad weather.
I don't know about Roy, but I know we are in the middle of March, or we're almost through March, and we've only had 10 days full field, and that's not a lot. We started January 28th. We've been working a great deal inside the parking lots and finding a section of a field that might be where there's no snow, no ice. You know, and it's been unfortunate, and it's shown in our progress. We're a couple weeks behind. But this is a great opportunity to come up here to play Syracuse, and we don't have to worry about the wind at our back. We don't have to worry about rain. We don't have to worry about ice or snow. This is going to be super.
Weather conditions are perfect today. It's Towson State and Syracuse. Coming up from the Carrier Dome right here on Super Sports. Welcome back, everyone, to the Carrier Dome on the campus of Syracuse University. Let's go to the starting lineups now. First for Towson State, the Tigers coming in with a record of 1-2, as we said, ranked number 17 in the U.S. ILA poll. On attack, they're led by Matt Clune. He's a sophomore and leading scorer from last season. Also see Sean Ryan, number 25, and Kevin Travis, number 8. Langton, Headings, and Ford are on the midfield for the Tigers in this game. Now on defense, Cindrix, Vanags, and Graebner will start along with their goalie. He's a senior and a veteran with 446 career saves, Brian Whalen. They're led by Carl Runk in his 29th year with a record of .244 and .144, an amazing winning percentage of .629. and a national champion in 1974. For the Orangemen today of Syracuse, Morrissey and Doyle will start on attack instead of Doug Jackson. Casey Powell on the midfield, along with Toby Price, and Andy Sherritt's getting a start, which is a bit of a surprise as well at the midfield. Smiley, Fotopoulos, and Denver on defense with long sticks on close D, and Jason Gebhardt, the sophomore from West Genesee, will start in between the pipes for head coach Roy Simmons today. In his 26th season on the SU Hill, a 6-time national champion and a Hall of Famer with 259 career wins. Brian Whalen in goal for Towson State with 11.3 saves so far per game this year. He has done well. So has Jason Gebhardt in his first season as an SU starter, 21.3 saves, but he has allowed a lot of goals, Dale. 14.3 GAA is a very high number as the Orangemen win the opening face. Toby Price charging in right off the bat, and that one thrown away as Doyle can't handle it on the left wing.
Good point, and one other point that just occurred is we saw that Towson struggling a bit with the face-offs, and of course that goes with not being outside. You know, practicing in a gym or in a parking lot where there's no ice is not the same as getting the quality practice, and they've had problems with the face-offs. Could be a problem for them here. If Syracuse gets the face-off, it could make the game a lot different than it might normally Coach Runk would want it to be.
And last season, Dale, Towson was the best face-off team in the nation, believe it or not, led the NCAA with a 65.7 winning percentage on face-offs. So obviously things have changed from one year to the next. This is Barry Headings into the offensive zone. Towson in the visiting gold jerseys with the Michigan football-like helmets. Love those lids out there.
Yeah, looks great.
Looking very sharp. Tim Langton is the team's leading midfielder, number 29. He handles also in the offensive end along with Spencer Ford. This is Langton with a right-handed cradle. Getting some penetration around the cage. And SU, of course, working very hard on close defense. It was a big problem in their loss to Hopkins. Gave up a lot of shots. Jason Gebhardt with 25-plus saves in that game. Spencer Ford, right wing, shot, and a goal for Ford. So right off the bat, the Tigers take the lead. Spencer Ford, he's a 6-foot freshman, has his third goal of the 96 season.
Took their time, and they just got to jump. Beat big stick defenseman there. That's the midfielder Ackerman, and he didn't get stick on stick. You see him relax the stick there, Dave, and he got the shot off. He seemed to be pretty decent body position, but Ford got the stick clear, and the lane was open, and he took the shot and scored the first one for Towson.
A quick 1-0 lead for the Tigers, just a minute 8 into the first quarter. And right off the bat of the faceoff, Dave Moore able to win it on midfield. And each team has won a face-off so far early in this game. Towson the offense again. One more time. Stroman is in now. He's a second-line midfielder, a senior from Arnold, Maryland, number 2. So early, Coach Runk is getting different players a lot of action. Matt Trees, number 15, also handling around the perimeter. Kevin Travis lost the handle. Good pressure by Mike Smiley of Syracuse, and that ball still loose on the sideline. Bodies falling all over the place. Finally, it goes out of bounds. And we'll see what the call is going to be.
Good call. Syracuse called pushing, but you know, that's one thing you see when the ball was down, they were really scrambling for it, and that's good. I think, you know, if you're not going to, you got to hustle. If the ball's down, you got to hustle and get to it. They did it.
Todd Paradise out there as well, number 11. That's a shot by Matt Treese that is deflected and goes a bit wide. Tigers still on attack with the ball on the offensive end. Kevin Travis, number 8, second line attack player. He has started a couple games so far this year for Towson. We'll see a lot of action in this one. Michael Stroman. These are all second line middies on the field in the second possession of the game for Coach Runk. So obviously he is comfortable with a lot of substitution early. He's got a very young team. That's one thing he talked about. And he said before the game to us, a big key there was finishing shots. They have got to take very wise, high percentage plays and finish them as well. This is Paradise getting hard check as he was hit by Toby Price just before releasing the shot. Good backup by the Tigers. They still got in the offensive end. Sean Ryan will trigger play.
Another reason why you're getting people in early as you watch on the replay, the shot, is that they're not in shape yet. Again, not getting that outside practice. Guys don't have their legs yet, so he's going to get a lot of new people and not tire them out early. Double team. Oh, Denver
Nice
gets
move
beat.
made by Travis as he gets a shot off. Gebhardt tried to rake that one in his crease.
Interference.
And that's going to be a call against the Tigers. So Syracuse catches a break. Procedure call goes against the Towson Tigers. Turnover.
No, that's gonna be a problem. Watch this. Okay, now there's the shot. All right, now watch. Can't control the bounce. Goes out. Now there's the interference, but watch right here. Watch right there. There it is. Unnecessary roughness. So Syracuse on Sportsblank is going to be down.
Jason Gebhardt has already given up a goal in this game. Fotopoulos will sit then for the minute, as Dale said, with 11:54 to go in the first quarter.
Now there's an opportunity where you would have gotten a free clear. Interference with the goalie, you turn it around, and now you get Towson the ball, and you got to play a man down. So first man-up opportunity for Towson. Let's see what happens.
And once again, they've got the first line attack on in the man-up situation. We'll see what the Tigers can do in terms of converting. Todd Paradise out there as well, number 11. Spencer Ford handles. He has the lone goal in this game so far. Towson on the man up. Langton lost the handle on the right wing. SU trying to scoop out of there and make a move. Orangemen have not even had much of a chance in the offensive end except for the first, and that was a turnover. Here's Doyle handling. He had 3 goals against Hopkins the other day. His pass, Cavett just behind him and thrown away. Matt Doyle slamming the stick down in frustration.
One thing, if you're a fan from last year, you used to be able to get a release. Syracuse got the ball. New rule change. You're not released when you get the ball in the other team's attack half. So Syracuse still has 20 seconds left on the penalty. Did not get a release. New rule change, so now there's still a man down, and they're playing like they are really going after that man with the ball.
Great stick handling by Tim Langton into the offensive zone. A whistle before a shot is
Offside.
put up from Kevin Storm. And an offside call apparently against Towson indeed. So the Orangemen again catch a break with 11:01 to go in the quarter.
Yeah, now they got to capitalize. They still got a man down for 7 seconds, so the clear is going to be important. They could lose it because they're going to be able to double team down here. Let's see what they do. They just run it up. There's the slide. He just keeps running. Oh, just inbounds. Number 30 for Syracuse.
Nice hustle by
Alexander.
Matt Alexander.
Yep.
Redshirt freshman from West Genesee.
Even up now. Dave.
Sherritt's out there as well. Again, he started the game for the Orange. Carcaterra not in there for Syracuse right off the bat.
Kavovit giving it up.
Matt Kutaya. He's a freshman from Homer. And Sherritt's at the top of the box. Andy Sherritt still with it. Good feed. Try to hit Morrissey. Wide open was Doyle, but he just missed the cage. Good backup on the play by Cavett. He'll re-trigger behind the goal. Break for the Orangemen. That Cavett was there in the backup. He'll bring in himself. Tries to feed a cutting teammate, and that one goes over the cross of Doyle and out of bounds. And one more time, the Orangemen turn it over. Dale, a little sloppiness early on the offensive end.
Well, they trying to feed the crease, maybe force it a little bit. Gravener, pretty good defense for Towson State. Maybe he forced that bad pass, but that is a problem, at least at this point. And most of the game has been played down in this end, and it's 10-11 left. So the first 4 minutes or so, definitely 3 turnovers for Syracuse have created some offensive opportunities for Towson.
Barry Headings in the offensive end for Towson. Interesting to see Coach Carl Runk on the sideline. He's holding up a sign with numbers on it, and there you can see him from behind. On the front of that is
Limo driver,
big numerals.
The Ryan
calling out
party.
a play. That last one was 68. Here's Headings with it in the left wing. Still has it with a left-handed cradle. Good ball control. Barry Headings just lost control at the last moment. Fotopoulos then made him pay the price. Comes out to Langton, who's got great size. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. One of the biggest players in the field, except for Smiley of Syracuse, who goes 6'6".
McCartan, number 18, in for Syracuse defensively.
Orangemen using different combinations on close defense. Langton being hammered from behind, somehow scores the goal. No shot's going to be waved off and maybe a warding off call against Langton.
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
Wow, break for the Orangemen.
Pushed off, and you'll see it. Watch that left arm right there. Yep. He did it actually for an extended period of time. You can see it right there. Syracuse going to be hassled on the clear. People are going to force them to make the long pass. They've had some problems with it. Let's see what they do. They get it cutting across the middle.
Here's Casey Powell in the offensive zone, Dale. And he is on midfield, starting there permanently now. On the left side, feeds to Doyle behind the cage. Not an attack anymore. Jim Morrissey. That shot from Ryan Cummings may have gotten some pipe in addition to the goalie Whalen. Out of bounds, and SU will still have it.
Syracuse's second shot with 8:46 left in the first quarter. That's a pretty good indication of where the ball has been. Good save, right-handed goalie for Towson.
Casey Powell did not score against Johns Hopkins. Had some assists, had 2, but did not have a goal. And it's the first time in his recent memory he didn't score in a game. As that one goes out of bounds, it was tipped by the Tigers. Syracuse still has it. Casey told us this week in media interviews, Dale, he thinks the last time was 6th grade. He didn't have a goal in a game. Can you believe that?
My gracious.
Sophomore in college now. Jim Morrissey with it. Orangeman down in this game. It was a quick goal from Spencer Ford, and that's all we've had scoring-wise.
Zone defense now for Towson. Just what we talked about. They shift from a man-to-man to a zone, and right there, they get a cutter coming right through the zone.
Casey Powell gets the goal, so that little Schneid streak is over for Powell at 1 game as he ties this one up 1-1 with 8:18 to go in the quarter.
You can see him go to the zone, and then the Carthage Comet just streaks by, and he gets a jump in that zone. If you can cut through the middle of the zone, you can get him momentarily confused, and right there, it's difficult because when he makes the cut, somebody's got to slide eventually that close to the goal. They didn't get the slide, and Casey Powell ties it up for Syracuse at 1 apiece, as you saw that zone defense that Towson went to early, Dave.
Dave Moore on face-off. He has 1-1, and Price has come away with 1 as well for Syracuse. Nice hit laid on by Alexander, but the Tigers able to come away with it. Moore was streaking right toward the goal, nearly got a break. Ball loose for Towson. Chuck Waltman.
Nice play by Waltman.
Stick, made a good play to control that and put it into the offensive end. Kevin Travis. Number 8, good ball handler. Stroman coming in. Number 2 behind the cage. Goes for a feed attempt, and Ryan Cummings will sprint for the loose ball in the open field. Here he comes the other way. Cavett, top of the box. Trying to untie this game. Good strip from behind made by the defensive player for Towson. That's Mike Graydon, number 34. Long stick we talked about. He still got the ball into the offensive zone.
Down again.
Nice hit again for Syracuse in the open field. Matt Treese able to pick that one up in front. They get themselves a goal, take a 2-1 lead. Kevin Storm, number 28, was wide open and got the feed and finish, as Coach Runk said was so important.
That's the thing they talked about, the finish, ball down, and then he is right on top of the goalie as Sturm puts it in the hole.
7:22 to go now in the first. Towson has taken a 2-1 lead. Sturm scores it, his 4th of the season. He had 2 in the victory over Hartford the last time these Tigers were on the field. Their first victory of the year. That is Andy Rodriguez, number 33, taking the face-off for Syracuse. Lost his stick momentarily and then the ball. And there's quite a story with Rodriguez coming back from a severe knee injury and able to play for the Orange. Lee Williams won that one and helps out for Towson State in the offensive zone. Barry Headings has got it now, number 19. So the Tigers have pretty much dominated play in terms of offensive possession. Tim Langton, top of the box. They'll reset.
Taking their time, and you know, we talked about that, getting the matchup. Syracuse getting people in and out of the game quickly.
Headings, quick shot. Barry Headings scores, and a left-hander, and he beats Jason Gebhardt. I'll tell you, I think Gebhardt had a pretty good look at that shot. Headings came in from about 15 yards out and fired a left-hander by him.
You're right. That's just a clear miss. I mean, he had to look deflected. It
May
looks
have been
like it was
tipped.
deflected.
Yeah, it was by number 28, Kevin Sturm. Here's a look.
You don't see it on real time, but you know, when we slowed it down, it looked like Sturm's stick deflected it, and that's why, because you're right. He had a good look at it, but it changed direction, I think, at the last minute. Face-offs 3-1 now in favor of Towson. Syracuse might get one here on a procedure call. They will.
Procedure against the Tigers and their face-off man, Dave Moore.
Yeah, Moore is the face-off guy, and Syracuse gets a lucky one there.
Paul Carcaterra is on the field now for the Orange. First time we've seen him on the midfield. So Syracuse in this game down 3-1 here in the first.
Vanderpool in.
Ira Vanderpool's had a good season at Midi. He was an attackman in high school. One of the best athletes, Coach Simmons tells us, that he's had in the program in quite a while. But he's had to switch his game around from the attack to Midi. Here's Jim Morrissey, senior captain from Skaneateles. Great controlled, triple teamed, eventually loses it. Doug Jackson regains to Doyle and knocks it down and keeps it in front of him. Matt Doyle had a great game against Johns Hopkins. We saw some of the highlights. He had a incredible spin move for a goal, one of his 3 against the Blue Jays in that 14-10 loss down at Homewood in Baltimore last weekend.
Great defense. They've gone back to man-to-man, and they are switching and jumping and sliding and staying right with Syracuse players.
Scott Hoskins is on Casey Powell at the moment. Powell trying to feed Vanderpool in the back up top of the box. Bad pass for Jackson, but he's able to handle it. Nice play by Doug Jackson just to keep that in front of him. Eric Van Nags, number 42 with a long stick, is on DJ. Doug Jackson fires off a quick shot and scores. Doug Jackson, the junior from JD on the left wing, about 15 yards out. I'm not sure if Whalen saw that one coming.
Well, I'll tell you what, it shows you that all you got to do is get a lane for your stick. He beat Van Nags, and he just had that lane. He cranked it sidearm, and he put it right by the goal. Watch right there. See, he just had that lane, and he just knows that Whalen figures he should have stopped it, but it was just a great shot as he just beat Van Nags, and Jackson got the lane, took the shot, scored the goal.
From that angle, Dale, it looked like it may have been deflected by one of the long sticks of Towson, so possibly a couple deflected goals.
Yep.
The last 2 we've seen. Towson has the face-off edge just by 1. Moore battling along with Alexander of Syracuse on this one. Still no possession. Moore trying to grab it, rake in, can't. Matt Alexander does. Orangemen win possession. Alexander into the offensive zone. Syracuse trying to rally. Nice play for Jackson, but he lost control, and Van Nags will regain with a long stick, number 42. And mishandling is Matt Stromberg, and here comes Syracuse, wide open. Morrissey, saved by Whalen. Wow, what a play by Brian Whalen, and it comes out to the long stick. Big break for Towson State, and tremendous anticipation by the senior. He's not the all-time saves leader in Towson history for nothing.
Syracuse going to get the ball. Ball went out of bounds, but that was a great save. Watch the feet. It's the legs, I believe, that make the save. What? Brings them together. Oh, right off the foot.
Ouch.
Yes, I was just going to, that's the next thing. If you pick up a lacrosse ball, bouncing off your foot a couple times, and then have somebody do it at about 95 miles an hour, you'll have a good appreciation of what he just did.
Tigers have 5 of the 9 turnovers so far in this game. Smiley, good play in the offensive end for Denver.
Big stick down there.
Long stick work. Denver carrying in, left hand, shoots and scores! You don't see it often. One of the more exciting plays in lacrosse. Long stickman. The senior captain, Rourke Denver from California, scores it. And the Orangemen have pulled within a 3-3 tie.
Wildly was on him, but he just beat him and then takes the left-hand shot, stick side. See, Wildly right there is beaten. Rourke Denver changes, brings that left-handed stick. I was just going to say, it's funny, I said Whalen after that save, he's going to be the hot goalie now maybe. And all of a sudden he gives it up to the big stick, and now you've got the psychological advantage back to yourself if you're Syracuse, and they go to the face-off circle again and see what Syracuse can come up with. Another one, ball down. It's been on the carpet a lot.
Ryan Cummings from Nottingham able to win that one. He'll bring it to the offensive end.
Nice check.
Nice poke check from behind made by Mason Ray, number 3.
It's
tries to come
check.
away with it. Another check by Ray on from behind. Eventually, Towson able to regain it. Chuck Woltman with a long stick came up with a ground ball. Feeds off for Grabner. Towson coming the other way. Unbelievable play. Looked like Casey Powell, a clean takeaway. As he dove right on a man, no call. Fatopoulos in the other end. Injury on the play. That's Chris Anzalone, who is still down. He was hammered by Powell a moment ago. No whistle to stop play yet. Doyle finally, as he just got to break in.
I don't know if that was the time to stop it.
Now the officials will blow the whistle and eventually will get Anzalone checked out. Casey Powell, a leaping play.
He was upset. Coach Desko's upset. That was a possible goal. Let's look at the injury. Powell over the head, gets him with the butt of the stick onto his stick. The ball went down. Looked like a clean check to me. You can see where he hurt himself. His knee hit the turf, but it was not an illegal check. It did not look to me. But as far as Syracuse was concerned, yes, he's down, but don't stop it when I'm going to take a shot. And they took a shot, and they stopped it just before Syracuse number 29, Matt Doyle, took a left-handed shot, and they stopped it just before he took the shot.
About to wind up when the whistle blew. 3:47 to go in the first. It's a 3-3 game. And they will check
Trainers
him out.
there.
Chris Anzalone. Tremendous play by Powell going over his helmet. Now watch his foot down below where it lands right there. Looks like the left leg that kind of collapsed.
Yeah, it does. That's just caught the turf, brought his weight down on it, and I would have to say that's got to be a pretty serious sprain or perhaps a break, but they're down there and they'll take care of it.
Freshman from Freeport, Long Island.
While they look at him, let's look at number 29 here for Syracuse is Alexander. Watch, he's got the ball. He's going to go left-handed. They blow the whistle, and that was outside the goal. But the point was that's not the time to stop it. Let him get the shot off. Had it gone in, it wouldn't have counted because when the whistle blows, everything stops.
So Runk in his 29th year at Towson, and Anzalone being helped off.
He's in some pain. I would have to say that's probably, hopefully, just a severe sprain.
Oh, is so dangerous that it could be a severe knee injury, and it does not look good for him.
Looks, he's holding down by the ankle,
Yeah.
the top of the ankle.
That could be it as well. He landed very awkwardly, certainly, on that ankle. Some of the SU trainers are going to also help out to see if they can offer assistance. Tim Neal, SU's head trainer, is down there to give Anzalone a look as well.
So Syracuse gets the ball, and they'll trigger from behind.
Orangemen have it tied in this game, 3:40 and counting to go here in the first. Matt Kutaya from Homer, top of the box. Being watched by Barry Headings, number 19. Kutaya, left-handed shot, a Whistler wide. Good backup play by Brian Whalen, the goalie, and Towson gets it back.
Yeah, that wasn't a great shot in terms of it was hard, but it was not on cage. And Whalen turned and ran and did his job, got the ball back. He's had a couple of big saves and a couple of good moves. Right now, Syracuse putting a real hustle on, and they're going to come up with the ball.
Great play by
Nice
Ryan
ride.
Cummings. He put a lick on Spencer Ford. Good ride defense, and the Orangemen cause a nice turnover. And SU will get it back, tied up, 3:11 to go in the quarter.
Ryan Cummings hustling at that midfield spot. Got the ball off a Towson player and let it go out of bounds.
I talked to myself a lot. Last year's leading scorer for the Orangemen, Casey Powell, as a freshman. Told us he's a bit frustrated with the transition to midfield. It is a big difference. He can't score as much and explode. He's more of a feeder now. And he's got to play some defense. He kind of enjoyed being the high-profile scorer. Just gets to run up and down the field in the offensive end. Big change. Here's Matt Doyle, who's come up very big in his return to the team this season. Jackson has a goal today. Feed Sheretz lost the handle. It's a big game for Sheretz. He's from Baltimore. That feed broken up. Jackson may have been in the crease, or perhaps it was Cavett. And it's a crease violation against Syracuse. Turnover. Goes back to the Tigers with 2:36 to go in the first.
It looked like Cavett might have had the foot in there. At any rate, it will be a clear attempt for Towson. But Syracuse has done a good job of hustling to contest the clear. Syracuse doing well so far in their own clearing. And they stopped the last one by Towson. Let's see what they do now. This looks like a run it over clear and lost the ball at the midfield.
Lee Williams had it broken up. Could not go through three Syracuse defenders, and Jackson in the offensive end pass too tall for Cavett, who lost it. And that's just not normal to see with a Syracuse team making mistakes like that.
Well, that's the thing you got to improve. You know, in the first game you can say, we're not quite there yet, the timing's not there, but you get into the fourth and fifth game and you're throwing passes away, it's something that you obviously got to improve on, you got to work at.
Headings helps bring it across for Spencer Ford, scored the first goal of the game. Great feed in front as he tried to hit Travis, and that one was a whole tiptoe through the crease himself.
That's right.
Kevin Travis commits the crease violation, and Towson gives it back to the Orangemen.
Yeah, they made the look, but his foot was, he was only in about 18 inches. So I guess
Is that all?
Yeah, right. foot and a half.
Jeff Lowe, freshman from Liverpool, getting some field time for the Orange here in the first quarter. Played football as well this past season. Nice takeaway made.
Yeah, Graebner again.
Mike Graebner, who's had a big game so far, number 34.
Impressed with the Towson close defense. They've done a good job.
Renags works for Langton. Tim Langton with a 6'4" frame. Carcaterra matches up on him in the midfield play. Michael Stroman, number 2, handles, and Vanderpool will watch him. Under 1:30 to go here in the first quarter. Game still tied 3-3. Matt Clune, top attack player, has not scored so far in this game. Good strip from behind by Fotopoulos. Ball still loose in the field. Christian Fotopoulos hacked from behind.
Oh, so he withheld the ball from play. It looked like a freehand push on Towson, but it goes to see how quickly they started. You can't complain. You got to get ready to be in position. Yeah.
Todd Paradise brings into the offensive end. Clune Works for Stroman. Under a minute to go in the first. Game is tied up. 3 apiece. Kevin Travis has 1 goal so far on the afternoon. He's watched by Denver, who's also scored. Stroman left-handed cradle. Down to 40 seconds. Michael Stroman spins on Vanderpool. Still has possession, looking to feed. Had a man wide open, could not hit Barry Headings, who was there.
Looking for cutters.
Stroman
Bad
had
shot.
that one bounce in front with 25 seconds to go in the quarter. It comes away to Gebhardt. Good defense by the Orangemen as they matched up well. Smiley at midfield with the long stick handles. Here comes Doug Jackson looking for a second goal. Stop on the dime, and he'll set up the offense. Just 13 seconds to go, though. Syracuse trying to squeeze off one more shot.
They had somebody open coming in from the substitution area.
7 seconds. Powell with it. Left-handed cradle trying to spin and get a shot. Can't find the angle. 5 seconds. In front, they get a goal with 1 second to go in the quarter. Casey Powell working his magic. Feeds in front, and the Orangemen score to take a lead. Jim Morrissey finishes. What a play by Powell. Beats the clock, but barely. Morrissey camped in front. Dale, no defense there to stop him.
No, you know, they all appeared to be looking at Powell, and Powell turned his head. It was a no-look pass, and he hit Morrissey right coming around the crease, and that was a great way to end the quarter.
We're done with 1 quarter from the Carrier Dome. 4-3, Syracuse a lead on Jim Morrissey's goal, just beating the buzzer.
They're young. It's not what they're used to, you see, and I think that's what a lot of people are forgetting about. They've had some outstanding defensive players in the past. Now they've got good, sound defensemen now, and but they don't have the experience that they've had in the past.
That's Carl Runk on the SU defense. Second quarter play underway. Casey Powell hit hard in the offensive end for the Orangemen. It comes away to the long stick, Vanags, number 42. And here they come the other way. Towson State trying to tie this game up again. Long sticks handling for both teams in the offensive end.
A lot of long sticks up there. Yeah, Van Aggs came over. They've done a good job. And Gravener started the whole thing. So their defense not only plays good defense, they help start the offense.
Barry Headings is back out there. And Tim Langton, first line, middies and attack come out. Tim Langton on the right wing. Headings top of the box. He's scored 1 already against Gebhardt. Feet in front, shot, and a score. Wide open at Dalsky in front. Number 5, Dalsky gets it. And this game is tied at 4 apiece. He was wide open.
Hey, little guy, 5'9", 180, and you're right, he's wide open. You don't have to be very big to hit that 36 square feet when you're that close, and that's going to give the Tigers the tying goal, and Syracuse let him get away. Open on the crease.
Just 1 minute into the period, Alexander will take the face-off against David Moore. Moore coming in was 12 of 19 on face-offs for Towson this year. So Dalsky comes in. He's a sophomore middie from Westchester, Pennsylvania, and he is playing, we assume, because of the injury to Chris Anzalone, who is suffering from what appears to be a pretty bad ankle injury. Towson again in the offensive end. Matt Clune behind the cage has been held in check very well by Christian Fotopoulos, who's been shadowing him. Todd Paradise comes right off the bench. They're running a lot of different players in. Matt Treese in there as well, number 15. That variety, I think, is throwing Syracuse off a bit because of different styles of players.
When you look at their statistics, they only had 4 goals in the 4th quarter in their game, so maybe they're trying to keep people fresh because that can be a problem. If you're tired, you don't get much offensive output in that 4th quarter.
Stroman top of the box. Cummings watches him. Ryan Cummings was an offensive player in high school at Nottingham, now a defensive middie here at Syracuse. But as we've seen this year, can do just about everything on the field. That bounce shot put wide by Matt Treese. Now, we talked earlier about Chris Anzalone, the freshman, and there he is just moments ago leaving the field. Heavily taped and splint work put on the left foot or left ankle. Looks like an ankle injury and does not look good. So hopefully he will be doing better as we see a penalty flag drop with the Orangemen on defensive end. Technical hold call.
30 seconds, so that's the second penalty of the game. Syracuse be man down. Let's see the hold. That's Rourke Denver right there. There it is. See him? He got him up under the free arm. You see that? And then he just kind of long johned him, brought him back down with the stick. So that's a hold, and that'll be a 30-second violation.
So technical foul goes against the Orangemen. Syracuse and Towson tied up 4-piece in the second quarter. Man up so far for the Tigers. 0 for 1. Spencer Ford behind the cage has a goal.
Open.
Nice pass.
Nice
that one
job.
goes to Langton. Stripped from behind, though. Nice play made by Alexander. And they regain. Kevin Sturm out there as well. Todd Paradise feeds for Travis. Sides even up now. Cummings out there.
I don't know why he was released. They still had 15 seconds left on the penalty, but they just stopped
Seemed
the
a little
clock.
early. Yeah. Langton's shot is wide. Backup made by Towson. The Tigers will still have it.
I don't know what happened there. It looked like there was still time left, but we'll...
Resuming play,
Yep.
Travis. Good feed in front of score. Put in by Kevin Sturm, number 28. The one-timer by Sturm. As Kevin Travis nailed him. Little alley-oop action working for the Tigers, and they have regained the lead at 5-4.
Takes the left-handed pass, and right there, he got by number 26 for Syracuse, Devin Ackerman. Ackerman, freshman out of Orchard Park, who's been playing a lot. Syracuse getting some defensive people in. Sturm comes up with number 2 and a 5-4 goal lead, I should say, for Towson.
He was a sophomore from Arnold, Maryland, 5th goal of the season and 2nd of the game, as we saw. SU has done well in the face-off department so far, but the Orangemen down on the scoreboard. Price a win. Here comes Toby Price into the offensive end. Stripped from behind, nice play. Morrissey had a loose ball, quick one-time shot go wide. And the Orangemen back up in the form of Doug Jackson. Morrissey scored at the very end of the quarter, was denied on a great save by Whalen in the first. And here's Sherritt's top of the box. Watched by Stroman. Doyle coming off that hat-trick performance against Johns Hopkins. Ball lost, though, in the offensive end. Good pickoff play made. Vanags, nice play, then thrown away by Whalen, the goalie. Luckily comes to Stroman for Towson, rakes it out front. Tigers getting a couple breaks on this possession. Here comes Clune the other way. Matt Clune charging in, feeding. That's a shot. Good save by Gebhardt as Travis was denied. Orangemen look to come the other way. Powell at midfield. Casey with a full head of steam. Here he comes. Right-handed cradle. Lost control. Nice defense and good recovery again by Graebner, who's played a great game. In front, Jackson one time wide. Doug Jackson just missed the target. It was a gaping open mouth of the goal.
I'll tell you what, Powell's going to get used to being double and triple teamed. That 2-2 attracts a lot of attention. You might have to get rid of it just a little sooner, Dave.
Matt Doyle, nice move to get by his man. He triggers play. Kutaya out there as well, the freshman. Seeing a significant amount of playing time for a rookie. Heading down to 10:30 left in the second. Towson a 5-4 lead. On a goal by Kevin Sturm. Great feed from Kevin Travis. Casey Powell works for Sherritts. Good spin move, Andy Sherritt's not quite quick enough to get him out his man. Double team. Dishes off to Kutai, who's run over, just steamrolled. Powell trying to back that one up. Out of bounds it goes. Syracuse still has it. Kutai was crushed on that play by the defender, Michael Graebner, number 34.
He's had quite a game, Graebner, and Chuck Woltman comes out 45 for Towson. At the bottom of the screen, they have done well for themselves so far. Syracuse, Powell bringing it in.
Casey Powell right side. Hoskins is in. Kutaya, top of the box, shoots and scores. Matt Kutaya gets it. And the Orangemen have tied this up 5-5 with exactly 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
You know what helped start that was when the double team came to Casey Powell, he got rid of it and fed Jackson. And then Jackson, when they slid over to get Jackson, the more they slide, the more that lane opens up. And you can see that there was a lane there and able to put that one by.
First goal of his career. So there it is, the former Homer Trojan gets a score. That's got to be something to remember. First goal of the season. Orangemen dominating on faceoff so far. They've done better with Alexander in there also.
Well, your wingmen helped
This is
you out
Andy
a lot.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez
is a great story who came out of Sachem High School on Long Island had a devastating knee injury at Penn, then transferred to Syracuse and re-injured the knee. And he's just getting in action after missing a full season. And pass to Morrissey. Jim says it was deflected. Referee does not agree. Van Ag's hassling Jim Morrissey. Good offensive play to get rid of the ball there.
So getting the face-off doesn't help after you get it if you throw it away, and that's what happened with Syracuse. Turnovers even up 11 apiece, but that was a costly one. Looks like they might have a little unsettled situation. They go to the goalie. Syracuse contesting this.
A little bit of a high number. 11 turnovers already in the game to this point. Resker lost it from behind. Vanderpool called for a late penalty. Ira can't believe it.
Going to call him on a 1 minute for a trip.
Wow.
He certainly got away from it before he fell down. Watch this.
Just got to piece him with a stick.
Yep.
I don't know. That was a tough call.
Yep.
That was a tough call.
So Syracuse down one man for a minute. Third penalty for Syracuse.
Towson has not succeeded so far on 2 man-ups. Tigers in the offensive zone again. Game is tied. Spencer Ford has 1 goal. And we saw a great play made earlier by Kevin Sturm on the one-time pass from Kevin Travis. Sturm on the right side. It's Clune behind the cage. Spencer Ford feeding also. Paradise winds, shoots. That one saved by Gebhardt. Todd Paradise robbed by Jason Gebhardt. Quick outlet pass for Denver. Rourke has 1 goal already in this game. Can he make it 2 is the question. Cabot feeding Doyle. Feeds again. Morrissey shoots and scores! Jim Morrissey, his second of the game.
I counted
pass
4
work
passes.
by the Orange.
4 passes. And you know the thing that started that off was the save by the goalie. He did a nice job of getting it out to Denver. 2, 3, 4.
Unselfishness on this team is something to watch. And the Orangemen have taken a 6-5 lead.
That was pretty. That was as pretty a goal as you'll see. Jason Gebhardt, you know, the first game that I saw him, I thought he was a little slow on the outlet pass. Well, he has certainly improved that, and the left-hander put that one right on the money, and he really helped himself out there.
Dale took a while, but the Orangemen had their first lead of this game. They have been playing catch-up or tied the whole way through, and now have it a 6-5 advantage with 8:30 to go. You know, Langton top of the box.
To say lacrosse is a game of spurts. Nobody's been able to put one ahead and keep it for a long period of time.
Sturm behind the cage, watched by Smiley. Top of the box, Langton. Watched by Alexander. Nice defense by Matt Alexander, redshirt freshman, pushing him aside. Langton tried that quick spin move, couldn't get by him.
He warded him too.
He sure did.
He pushed that free arm up.
Matt Clune has been just shut down totally.
Fotopoulos doing a good job on Clune. Clune open on the crease, but Photo runs through with him.
Tim
That's
Langton,
a ward.
top of the box, trying to get a play off. Great pass in front. They'll get a goal. That was just tremendous passing work, and Travis finishes it off.
Nice touch
Spencer
pass.
Ford to number 8. Kevin Travis for a second goal.
Nice touch pass at the end, but there's the ward right there. You can see the ward. He likes to do that. It's a one-hand pass, and then as he gets it across to Ford, Ford goes across a little bit of a quick stick to number 8, Travis, and Travis put it in.
That's his first goal. Also has an assist. So he's already 1-1 in this game. And one more time, we're tied up.
So
6 apiece.
Nobody able to come up with that dominating spurt and get 2 or 3 unanswered goals. Syracuse comes up another face-off.
Toby Price wins this one. Dale brings into the offensive end. Powell, acrobatic play just to save that one. Goes right by Stroman. Still handles. He's double teamed. Casey Powell's got it with a right-handed cradle. Oh, it's the double team. Powell still has it. Shovel pass for Morrissey. Shoots it, scores! What an effort by Casey Powell getting the ball to Jim Morrissey. And the senior captain from Skaneateles finishes off. The Orangemen lead again 7-6.
You know, the rule is, you know, if you get double teamed or triple teamed, get rid of the ball. Or just run right through them, knock them out of the way, and then do an underhand pass backwards. And then they make another nice move. And the Skaneateles, Jim Morrissey, the guy puts it in there left-handed. The Skaneateles flash.
Already a hat trick for Morrissey. He has played so well, had 3 goals in the loss to Hopkins last Saturday. 11 goals on the season. Cummings comes away with possession for Syracuse. And the Orangemen looking to go on a little run here.
That's what you're looking for, and you start it with a face-off. That's where you get your run going.
Devin Ackerman helped bring that one in. He feeds off from Morrissey, who scored 2 in a row.
Oh,
An Ags on him.
That's
There's
a hole.
It's going to be a hole at least on Morrissey. Finally knocked away. Syracuse will have a man up. So the Orangemen make a bit of a spurt here with 7:07 to go in the first half. And Van Ag's guilty of the hold.
So Syracuse's first penalty, the hold was a little bit before that. As soon as that ball hits the ground, it stops. But this is Syracuse's first man-up opportunity. They'll get 30 seconds. As Van Ag's, who's played very well for Towson, will sit for 30.
Looks like he's coming off the field with a bit of a limp,
Yeah,
too.
a little gimp, a little bit of a
Been a physical game, a lot of big hits. Man-up goals for the year, SU at 39.3%. Doyle and Carcaterra. We've not mentioned Carcaterra's name a lot. We'll have to look into why he isn't seeing more time in the rotation in this game. He is here in the man-up, number 19. Casey Powell, cross-field pass, dangerous play. Intercepted as Morrissey tried to come away with it. Still loose ball, not controlled by anyone. Then Sindrich with a long stick comes away with it for Towson State.
We did a great job defensively.
Try to break that one up. Ball midfield is loose. Whistle.
Offside procedure. What do we
Procedure
got?
call goes against whom? That's the question. Syracuse.
Well, there's no time left on the penalty, so everybody's even.
Travis brings it to the offensive end and bounces back for Headings. Barry Headings scored a goal early. Little jitterbug of a player at 5'8", 170. He's a junior. Very quick. Spencer Ford.
Runk's got that little sign up again.
You can see it bottom of the screen.
It's a score. It says score on it.
Score a goal. Spencer Ford works on Alexander. Right-handed cradle. Barry Headings still has it. Feeding. Nice play to Langton, who gets it with one catch in his cross and scores. Tim Langton, the 6'4", 200-pound senior, who only came in with 1 goal this year. A co-captain scores a big one.
Saccharin was on him defensive midi for Syracuse and covered him about as well as you can cover somebody, but he got the shot off, and it's going to tie it up again. Langston's second goal of the season.
His 33rd career goal at Towson State. We're under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Procedure call against the Tigers. So Syracuse gets possession right off the bat.
Moore started a little bit too soon there. There's the correct score, 7-7.
Right,
Yep.
sevens. Price, Cummings, Ryan Cummings, Hammer still has it, gets a shot off, and then
Better check his helmet.
yeah, releases that one
He's got right
over the cage.
like a cloven helmet. He's lucky he didn't. I talked to some guys about those new helmets. They said, they have a tendency to send a little more of the shock into your head. So he must have really felt that one. He took a couple of shots on the head.
Here's Cummings again. Hopefully knows where he is right now.
Yeah.
Left-handed cradle for Syracuse. Here's Morrissey. Jim already has a hat trick in this game so far. Watched closely by Matt Stromberg, number 35 with a long stick. 5:20 and counting. Shots, Towson has the advantage so far. Doyle behind the cage with it. Matt Doyle handling, trying to get free, cuts by his man. Penalty flag down, slow whistle call, lost possession. Doyle in frustration.
Yeah, went for the fence.
Boy, nearly hacked his man. Holding call, technical foul, goes against the Tigers again.
Dolsky's 5, I think, is the guy who's going to sit. 5'9", 180, and watch. Take 2 and go to left.
5 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the half. Orangemen and Tigers have been neck and neck pretty much the whole way. Syracuse has had just 1 lead in this game. And Towson refuses to lose. Orangemen have not converted on their man-up opportunity so far. Good look behind the goal at how the Tigers defend a man down. What kind of defense they can throw at you.
They have to go to a zone, and they just shift. And the idea is to see if you can.
Jackson winds. That's a nice save by Whalen there. Dale at 4:45 to go in the half.
Just going to say, try to get a hole in that defense, but now they've got it out and cleared. They're still a man down. They cannot get a release due to that new rule, so Syracuse should be able to double team the ball. 2 seconds left in the penalty. Now it's up. They're even.
Sides all even at 4.5 minutes left in the first half. And the game even as well. It's 7-all. Towson State coming in with a 1-2 mark, and looking at strength of schedule, you'd say Syracuse has the edge based on results so far. But as we heard from Coach Simmons at the opening of the broadcast, Syracuse simply has not seen the Tigers play this year. Tough to formulate a scouting report on a team you haven't seen.
I asked them on the scouting report, most of the kids said, we haven't seen anything on them. We got some stuff from last year, but it's all different this year.
Treese works back for Michael Stroman. Todd Paradise in the left wing. Towson spreading it out. They like a slow-down effect. It's been their style. Powell on him, trying to get him out of the shooting zone.
Nice save.
Gebhardt saw that one well and made a great save. Outlets to
nice
Patopoulos.
outlet.
Photo coming the other way. Left-handed cradle with it. Feeds off. Shot. And a score for the Orangemen. Syracuse a whistler and a goal from Rob Calvert. He finally gets on the scoreboard with 3:31 to go in the half.
Give Gebhardt a lot of credit. You know, this is one of the things that I talked about in the first game, that they were not able to get that fast break going because Gebhardt didn't get the ball out as quickly as he should. Boy, he's been humming it out now. He's doing a great job of starting the fast break, and that's what really makes a big difference between a goalie who's a stopper and a goalie who can start something offensively, and that's exactly what happened there. Kevin got the shot, no doubt about it, he did a nice job, but he knows who started it, and it was that man right there, the goalie.
So the Orange, for the second time in this game, have a lead. It's 8-7. Back comes Langton and the Towson Tigers. Off of Kevin Travis. The entire Towson attack Dale has had a good game in terms of the pace when they've had it in the offensive zone. Very patient. And the shots they've gotten have not been poor, and they also haven't had a lot of bad turnovers.
That's right. And that's the thing that, you know, when they talk about the pacing of the game, and you don't want to run with Syracuse, they haven't had to. If they did, you'd see what happened right there when they got that running game going. You can't do that, so they got to take good shots, and they have been very, very patient.
Travis tried to hit Headings in front, a little bit too far for him to reach, away from his cross, and Gebhardt makes the easy scoop. Tough play. Patopoulos tries to go to Smiley at midfield, and they turn it over.
Unforced. Well, I shouldn't say unforced. They put some pressure on it, but that's the kind of thing, the poor pass, that now you got to come back and play defense again. You got the lead. Maybe you could, you know, turn it up a notch, but it looks like Towson's going to get the ball, and they do on the far side. I'm waiting for the Ross, the 280-pound attack man, to come in. I want to see him play a little lacrosse.
He is a big man.
He is,
to say the least. I saw him down in the field in warm-ups, and I wouldn't want to be steamrolled by him. Let's just put it that way. That could be dangerous. Stromberg in the offensive end with a right-handed cradle long stick. Matt Stromberg will retreat, and they'll get a short stick on there. Clune behind the cage for Travis. He's been patient as well, trying to execute that style that Coach Runk likes to put in. Play in front, shot and a goal. I'll tell you, Sturm got loose again. He may have gotten just a lucky break to get open and get the loose ball, but Kevin Sturm makes Gebhardt pay, and the game is tied again at 8.
Well, you said it right. It's just a loose ball in the crease, and Sturm's in the right place, but that's what those guys do. Those are the kind of guys, you call them garbage men, because they pick up those little cheap goals, but they're in the right place, and a lot of hustle. Ball was on the ground, open in the crease, and we go back to 8 apiece.
His third goal of the game. And one more time, we are tied up. 2:20 to go in the half. Paradise taking the face-off at midfield, won by Toby Price of the Orangemen. Push from behind by Ford. Price still has it. Double team. Paradise trying to get a piece of him as well. Nice feed to Doyle, who somehow caught that one on the move with a defender all over him. Great play by Matt Doyle. Stick control. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Doyle still has it. Charge in, trying to get an angle. And the whistle blows. Timeout called by Syracuse. So Coach Simmons wants to talk it over with a $1:48 to go in the first half. Time now to hear from head coach Roy Simmons about how the team has played since they took on Georgetown here at the Dome earlier.
We had a lot of young kids in that ball game, and now the stage fright should be over with. They have some games under the belt, some big games like Virginia and Johns Hopkins. Not that Yale wasn't, because we had to dig ourselves out of a hole there too. We've developed a little character. We've had a little bonding. We've had a little rite of passage and all those other things that come with a new team. And I think we understand one another better. We work real hard. We're trying not to make the same mistake twice.
Well, he talked about not making the same mistake twice, and I think they have improved. And I've been especially impressed with the goalie play, both guys. But Gebhardt, I think, is starting the fast break better. It's two good lacrosse teams. You know, what can you say? It has not been. Nobody's been able to get that spurt going where you can bury anybody and you get a 1-goal lead and somebody comes back. So, Dave, I think it's a great game, and Carl Runk's got to be pleased with the pacing. And I don't think Syracuse can be too upset. You got things. A couple of balls bounce the wrong way and you lose some goals. But I think both teams have played exceptionally well.
All tied at 8 at the Carrier Dome today. See a good crowd on each side of the lower concourse here at the Dome. Jason Gebhardt, 5 saves for the former West Genesee Wildcat.
Had that knee injury and he's come back.
It's been impressive. A lot of high numbers in terms of saves, and a lot of that has to do with the amount of shots he's facing. He had 28 saves Saturday against Johns Hopkins. Casey Powell works for Cavett. He had a goal a few moments ago and gave Syracuse a brief lead, but Towson just keeps on rebounding, and the Orangemen cannot shake them. And that Ty has scored his first of his career tonight.
I was going to say that defense from Towson has done a great job. Van Eggs was playing defense. We saw him. They played really good defense.
Sherritt's in the right wing. Behind the cage, Morrissey. Cavett lost it again. Good strip play made by Stromberg, and also out there, number 34, and Grenier. He has played well in this game, no question about that. Violation called.
Timeout?
Actually, a timeout called. Boy, before possession was actually accomplished, and the SU fans reacting to that.
Yeah, I don't know who had the ball. But John Desko, one of the assistant coaches, going to talk to the Orangemen.
17th year at SU for John Desko, is an All-American at West Genesee High School, in addition to another assistant you see to his right, Kevin Donahue. A couple of Wildcats have stayed on after playing at Syracuse. Time now to hear from Carl Runk. He was able to scout the game last week, SU against Hopkins.
Well, now Roy's not concerned about Towson State, but Towson State's concerned about Syracuse, and I mean, we want to make sure we know what's going on before we go in that dome, and we've seen them play. Yeah, we've got a report on them from the Virginia game. I watched them last week at Johns Hopkins. I thought that was a very deliberate game that Hopkins played. I thought Syracuse is explosive and possibly could have won the game. Hopkins had a few things. The ball rolled in their direction a few times, so it helped them out a great deal.
You know, pretty much exactly what's happened so far in this game. A deliberate game by Towson. The ball's rolled his way a couple times. It's rolled Syracuse's way a couple times, and you can't ask for a closer game, 8-8. And I think it's going to be the guy who can put that final spurt together going to win this game. But they got a lot of lacrosse left, 1:10 in the half, and let's see what happens.
See Brian Whalen's numbers. Made a couple of nice saves in this game. He's racing the front of the Towson media guide, so obviously very well thought of heading into his senior season at Towson State.
Nice
Outlet pass in the middle of the field for Ford. Headings crosses the midfield line into the offensive zone, watched by Ryan Cummings. Barry Headings, he's a junior, 5'8", 170. We're under a minute to go in the half. Game tied up 8 apiece. Spencer Ford, watched closely by Alexander, takes a couple hacks at him. Unable to slow him down. Ford tries to change his direction. Lost his footing for just a moment. Rolling down toward 30 seconds to go in the half.
Looked like a jailbreak there. They had everybody stacked up on the crease, and as soon as he broke the line of the goal, they all broke and tried to get open. 25 seconds left. They'll set it up again.
The cage.
Watch the break. Watch when he
Headings
goes.
with it.
There's the break.
Feeding, and looked like he actually tried to get a shot off.
Yeah.
And Gebhardt makes the easy play, down to 13 seconds to go. Cummings hit hard, absorbs the hit, keeps on coming to the offensive end, lost it. Langton made a play, 5 seconds to go. Feet in front, try to get Cavett. Goes off his cross, and that will do it for the first half. Well, Towson State has got to be elated. Head coach Roy Simmons probably thinking otherwise right now. His team is tied with the Tigers, ranked number 17 in the nation. It's 8-8 at the half. Back to the Carrier Dome after these words. Welcome back, everyone, to the Carrier Dome. Our score is tied. Syracuse and Towson State today. The 7th-ranked Orangemen and the 17th-ranked Tigers. It's 8-8 as we are just about set to start second half action from the Dome this afternoon. Check out highlights from the first half. A couple of goals, Dale, to look at, and the Orangemen working so well on passing. It's all started by a nice Jason Gebhardt save.
Done a great job of getting the outlet, gets it up to Rourke Denver. Does one pass, there's 2 passes, 3 passes, 4 passes. Morrissey puts it in. They just did a nice job of getting the transition game going, something I think that they had to work on. They did a great job. Towson responded, done the same kind of a thing. Got the ball down, and then they come down, and it's going to be Ford handling it there. Cross, and they get to number 8 for Towson. Travis scored, and you can look at the stats. 16 apiece in the shots, saves 4 and 3, ground ball 16-13, face-offs 12-5. Syracuse dominating, not doing as much with them. Clears pretty even, man-up goals, nobody's gotten one. And the thing is, it's as close as the stats indicate. It's 8-8.
So normally this guy would be checking out the New York Yankees. We're pleased to welcome back former Super Sports announcer Dave Cohen, now a New York Yankees announcer with MSG Network in New York City. And welcome back, first of all. Kind of cold up here compared to Florida, huh?
Yeah, it's cold in Florida, too. Don't let anybody kid you. And it's cold in Atlanta, and it's snowing in Atlanta. And I'm used to seeing the Detroit Tigers.
Now these Towson State Tigers. Tell us about how things are going with the Yankees, obviously, in your second season. Very exciting to be working with George Steinbrenner and the big-time media down
It's going to be different this year with Joe Torre as the manager. Things are much more relaxed and low-key, and, the players are much more personable. I think there's a different atmosphere than there was a year ago. Whether the Yankees will have the same results remains to be seen. They won the wild card last year. The hope this year is to win the American League East, but Baltimore is going to be awfully tough. The Red Sox have a lot of hitting. I don't think they have the pitching. So the Yankees, could be in there. They could be in the hunt.
How's that George Costanza working out? I see him on television a lot. The guy from...
Yeah, he suggested to me I go to cotton shirts.
Cotton shirts.
Unbelievable. About New York, though, and just the being in the atmosphere of the Big Apple.
Well,
What's
you
that
know
like?
all about it.
Oh, yeah, we were down there
we
for a while.
worked together back in 1987.
Right.
The forerunner of what is now WFAN.
Got it.
So, the smallest issue becomes, a major issue, and it becomes big headlines on the back page. So what you think is insignificant, you just never know.
You gonna hang with us here for a while?
Yeah, I hope he does stay for a while.
I love this game.
I
was in Seattle last year and got up early to watch the championship game.
Syracuse beating Maryland down at College Park.
They're still working on your suggestion that they shorten the periods, Dave. Remember that? It always was.
Where's the shot clock?
We don't have that yet.
Well, the way the Orangemen have played in this game so far, it certainly don't need one of those. They have played the fast-paced attack. We saw the goal on that great passing. As Carl Runk gets ready with that sign, he's got the new digits up there. Dale.
Yeah.
Looks like a 6 and a 2.
Is that the high jump? The bar's at 6'2"?
Meanwhile, Towson State so far has executed Coach Runk's game plan very well so far in terms of slowing it down. As we are getting set to start third quarter action, we don't have 15 minutes up on the clock because it's not operating at the moment. Here now from head coach Roy Simmons Jr. talking about the weather. The Orangemen have suffered as well with bad weather this spring.
This game has been diluted a bit across the country the last few weeks. A lot of games have been canceled. They're going to have to be made up. It's going to cause for an interesting second half of the season when people are playing 2 and sometimes 3 times a week to make up the games. Also, in some cases, the weather has taken away a little of the skill. And the fact that it's either been wet or snow or muddy. But I think we're back on track. We're back here in the Dome, and things are idealized as they should be.
We are back underway as the clock repaired. Just 10 seconds into the second half. Orangemen and Tigers all tied up today from the Carrier Dome.
Well, that ball has been down on the midfield a lot. The ground ball's pretty even, but the important ones are going to come right now because it's a brand new game and the score is even. That one's going to go to Syracuse as Towson could not control it. Syracuse will get the ball, have to clear it.
Nice catch by head coach Roy Simmons Jr. there. Chuck Woltman couldn't handle a pass at midfield. As Syracuse takes over, the Orangemen have had a couple leads in this game, but as we've said, Towson has been very stubborn. And despite being a heavy underdog today, has played well. Casey Powell to the offensive end with a right-handed cradle. Good spin move. He's been held in check also offensively in this game. Just the one goal. Feeding this time shot from Kutaya. What a save made by Whalen. Point blank. He was wide open.
He did a nice job of waiting until he got double teamed. They just made a nice save on the ball. Starts the other way.
Mason Ray brings into the offensive end. Devin Ackerman on him. And the Orangemen will regroup on defense.
Nice
what
strip.
a play as Clune was stripped from behind by Fotopoulos. Denver overruns the ground ball, but Schertz picks it up. Here comes the Orange with a long stick. Fotopoulos the other way. Morrissey was the intended receiver. That pass picked off nicely. Nags made a super play. And his pass too high. Sloppy play by both teams, and Rourke Denver makes the intercept the other way. His pass not clean for Kavovit. Can't cross the midfield line, or he's offside. Somehow did not. Kutaya picks up the ground ball at midfield. Great effort by Rob Kavovit at midfield.
That was quite an exhibition of ground ball booting and pass intercepting I've ever seen.
That was the characteristic of the early part of this game. Very sloppy play by both teams. And Syracuse settles back in. Schertz top of the box. Works for Kutaya on the left wing.
Powell out now. He always gets double and triple teamed, so let's see what they do without him in there at the midfield.
Carcaterra swings a wild shot way wide of the cage, not close. Good defense from Lee Williams.
Got a backup by Morrissey on attack, so they'll get the ball back.
Dale, I looked down and I thought I was watching Michigan.
Yeah, we did. We talked about that. Those
we know the
Wolverine-like
helmets there. Great lids, and we like them. Certain style and pizzazz to them. Matt Kutaya has his first career goal in this game. He's working on offense. The freshman feeds Doyle, tried the one-time play. Good defense from behind. Syracuse does regain. Carcaterra on the right wing with a right-handed cradle, and Syracuse will reset. Morrissey behind the cage, has 3 goals already today. Senior captain with a right-hand cradle. Right on the goal line, backing in, still has it. And he'll commit the crease violation before he gets a shot off. Maybe a hold from behind first, though. Technical foul against Towson. Great individual effort there, Dale, from Jim Morrissey.
You can legally push somebody in the crease, but if he gets pushed from behind, then it's illegal, and you can see the push right there.
Eric Van Ags, who we've been commending so highly, has played a great game. Violation there, 30-second technical hold. So, Dave, has it changed much since you've seen lacrosse here at SU?
Well, I do miss it.
Team.
Yeah, it seems as if this team is not capable of finishing off in close as some of the other teams over the years, but this must be a young team, and I'm sure they'll pick up in that department.
The biggest thing we had noticed is we see the extra man. He whistles the new defense, new goalie. You remember when Beardsley and those guys, the quick passing, and it was a little lacking earlier in the season, but they've been improving with every game, and I've really liked the way Gebhardt's been getting rid of the ball in the goal and starting the fast break the other way.
Casey Powell back on attack and the man up. Just a 30-second after that technical hold. Ball loose.
It should be a play on push, so that'll be Syracuse ball.
Yeah, Orangemen will regain with 12:01 to go in the third.
I don't know if these guys have the vacuum cleaners like I'm accustomed to have seen in the past. Guys picking up the ground balls with just unbelievable ease.
With those big sticks, we always comment on these 72 inches. Try to go out and pick up a ball that's like a foot in front of you with a 6-foot stick. It's very difficult.
Carcaterra's whistler is wide, Dale. Out of bounds.
And he's looking at the bench and saying, what play do you want me to run? And Kavovit behind.
Rob Kavovit behind the cage with a left-hand cradle. Good spin move. Had one brilliant goal in the first half.
Where's so Birdie? I can't see the orange stickers.
John Z from West Genesee. Oh, he was part of some great teams in the late 80s. Here's Jackson, another local guy from JD. Doug Jackson spinning, trying to feed that time. Another penalty may be called from behind. Fred Sindrich was all over his man.
Oh, that's a big one, too. That's Dolsky. I think that's the...
And we've got a slash call. Check it out.
I don't see it right there. This is the 4th penalty. And they have picked up a few. So that was number 5. That was Dolsky for Towson. So that's a slash. That's a big one. New rule, Dave. I don't know if you knew. Remember the release? You get the ball in the offensive half, and they release. No, they don't do that anymore. So now you have to stay in. You can't get a release. So if you get the ball and run it down, you've got to play with the guys that are in there.
Really?
Yeah. So there's no more release. It's full-time serve unless you score a goal, and then you're released. But otherwise, you can't strip the ball and run it down and release your guys.
Doug Jackson scores it from the right side, guys. He got open from about 10 yards out, and no chance for Brian Whalen to stop that one. Syracuse regains the lead with 11:09 to go in the third.
I'm going to say, save this, and you've really done a good job because this is right from point blank, and everybody, that was right by his head. He didn't even have a chance. Tough time for Whalen, and that's just 36 square feet. to defend, and that one went at about 90. 9-8, nobody's been able to get that little spurt of 2 or 3 goal lead. Syracuse up by 1, 11:09. Faceoffs have gone Syracuse's way. Let's see what happens on this one.
Doug Jackson 2-1 in the game, Dale, and 9 goals now for the season. The junior, former Red Ram from Central New York. Ryan Cummings, former Nottingham Bulldog.
Nice
shot, a
pass.
score! Doug Jackson gets it again after a slowest penalty flag was dropped to the Orangemen.
Oh, and they're going to really
On an explosion here.
and they're going to
with
get a penalty.
burst.
Yep, they're going to get a 1 minute because that's a slash. So that's not wiped out by the penalty, and you're going to see the look. Ooh, right there is the slash. Nice call. Look at the pass between the two bodies, and you see the finish of the play, but you saw that beautiful pass. Watch the pass, right? Whistles it right between 2 guys, and Cummings just does the super job. And Van Aggs is going to be down. Excuse me, that's Woltman, 45 on the penalty. So 1 minute now for Syracuse. Maybe that's what they need to get that third goal, get that third 3-goal lead.
Something you don't see a lot of. Fed Sindrich taking the face-off with a long stick at midfield, won easily by Price. Casey Powell into the offensive end. Casey Powell still with it, feeding again, shot, and that one finally stopped as Jackson good for his own little mini hat trick here in the third quarter. He was about to say score because he was so wide open, but Whalen comes up big. Carcaterra has some space. Paul feeding this time to Jackson, cut again, and loose ball is grabbed by Whalen in his cross-hill outlet. Sindrich, who took that face-off a moment ago, lost control. Williams, good hustle up for Towson.
Good job.
Grabbed by Gebhardt away, and the Orangemen look to come the other way. Powell with a full head of steam, hit from behind, no whistle. Lots of contact. Casey looking for an official's call.
Syracuse maybe forcing a little bit. There's still a man up. It looked like they could have slowed it down. They tried to do it fast, and now they're going to go the other way.
And Wilde with it off to Langton, and here come the other way as Towson will reset the offense.
They're going to wait till now they're even. So the penalty is elapsed.
Orangemen a 10-8 lead. Travis handling in the offensive end for the Tigers. Rourke Denver on him. Syracuse stays in the man-to-man. Seen pretty much all man except for man-down situations for Syracuse in this game. Tim Langton, co-captain.
Nice.
Whistler, and a score by Langton. Left-handed shot. That was a laser beam. I don't think Gebhardt ever saw that one coming. From low to high. Quick release, and it's a 10-9 game.
You said it right. Watch the release because he doesn't set or anything. He's just running, and when he gets doubled, he lets it fly, and that's a beautiful shot. And once again, you're going to see it from the end zone, and just a real laser, as you said, by Langton.
That looked like Randy Johnson's fastball.
About 95 miles an hour, right? Plus. That was a quick release.
You know what you'll like, Dave? He hasn't been in the game yet, but they got a 6'3", 290-pound attack man for Towson State.
Attack man?
Yep. Yeah, he played football at Kent State and transferred to Towson. He's playing football and lacrosse.
Where does he play in football?
I think he's a defensive lineman.
He better be on the line.
Yeah.
Size like that.
And Carl Runk, the guy right there, is telling me that he moves pretty well. They've run about 12 pounds off and got him down to 280 from 292. Watch the penalty here. There's a push. So that's going to be 30 seconds. So Syracuse is down a man in another man-up situation. We've had a lot here in the second half. We went kind of long in the first half, and they've been piling up the penalties here.
Dave, you have a highlight to tell us about your first year with the Yanks?
I think it might have been calling the 3 home run games of both Paul O'Neill and Mike Stanley. And then there was the day when I was mistaken for a pitcher with a similar name.
Who pitched against the Chiefs yesterday, apparently.
Yeah, we saw that. David Cohn, back with the Yanks. Decided to re-sign with them despite being a free agent for some big bucks. So Joe Torre has got him in the stable. They could have another great year. Here's Towson looking for a great win today. Is a shot and a score again from Langton. Using that 6'4" frame, Dale, he's tough to stop shooting over defenders, and he's tied this game up again at 10-all with 8:58 to go in the quarter.
Man up goal. Syracuse in the zone, and he just powers right through and goes stick side. Langton, a big kid, as you said, and that will wipe out the goal.
You know, this is a program that certainly takes a backseat to Johns Hopkins and the University of Maryland in their neighborhood, but Towson, year after year, is very formidable. They were here in the Final Four a couple of years ago.
That's right, we did that.
1991. And they eventually lost to North Carolina in a great game played here at the Dome. It was a lot of fun having the Final Four here.
You know, this is the first live game I've seen in quite a while, but I had a chance during last baseball season to be asked to narrate the NCAA 25-year history of this series.
That must have been fun.
Just to watch the goals and the players who appeared in that video was spectacular.
Woltman, nice feed. As he
wide
finds
open.
Lee Williams.
Nice
Good
save.
save by Gebhardt, rebound loose. As Sturm had a chance at it, and then a whistle blows, and we could have a violation call. Looks like it may go against Towson. Let's see exactly what the call is.
No, that would be against Syracuse.
Boy, what
if they
was
blew the
that?
whistle. Yeah, it was a pick. Well, in basketball, basically, it's interference. It's an illegal pick.
Just as Gebhardt releases outlet pass. Looked like a clean play from here. Coach Simmons not pleased.
I'm sure. Basically, what he did, he was going after the goal, and he stepped in front and screened him, and you can't do that. It's like a moving pick in basketball, so they lose possession, and it's still 10-10. Syracuse have been up by 2. It's back to a tie. Ball down. Rourke Denver not able to handle it.
Matt Treese lost the
Nice
handle.
hit.
Denver absolutely puts
Nice
a
smack.
licking. And what a play on Kevin Travis. And he knocked him down, hit him hard.
Nice smack. Yep.
Travis trying to say, I'm all right, folks. Don't get excited on my account. Boom. Laid him out.
Well, that's what you got to love about this game, though. Despite the ferocity and the intensity, they get up, say a couple of words to each other, acknowledge the good hit, and they go on.
That's right.
Denver will trigger play for the Orange in the near side. Syracuse
Oh,
and Towson
bad
involved
pass.
in a battle, and the ride defense successful for the Tigers again.
Gebhardt out of the cage.
Wide open man, shot and a score. Kevin Sturm does it one more time. He's had of a whale of a game today against the Orangemen. Kevin Sturm, who lit them up in half number 1, scores again, his 4th of the day.
Well, they caught the goalie. They caught Gebhardt out of the goal. You can see he's still trying to get back. It was an easy pick for Sturm because they'd had him out playing a little bit of defense, and Gebhardt not able to get back, and they give up an easy one, and now it's 11-10, 7:58 left. I think this one's going right down to the end in the 4th quarter.
So after a tie at halftime, it's gone back and forth. The Orangemen scored 2 in a row. Doug Jackson, a quick burst to give him a 10-8 lead. 3 straight now scored by the Tigers.
All unassisted,
and they lead
by the way.
11-10. Procedure call against the Orange off the faceoff. And Stroman brings into the offensive end. Langton, 2 fantastic goals. The second on the man up. And then Sturm a moment ago. Stroman open, trying to pull the trigger on the one-time play. Whistle.
Play on push.
And a push is going to be called against Syracuse.
I can't take another close game like this. After Georgia and Syracuse, I couldn't
goodness.
go back home to Atlanta if Syracuse had lost
What
to Georgia.
a
Georgia, that's
game.
true. That's right.
Oh, man.
That was a good. Georgia was a good basketball team. I know they lost 9 during the year, but I thought that perhaps they weren't going to be as good as they were. But they were a good team.
You know, between the 3 of us, we've seen a lot of great SU basketball.
I think that
games.
might be the best.
That may be the best.
Yep.
I would have to agree. 7.5 to go in the 3rd. Towson an 11-10 lead. These Tigers just won't go away today, guys. Very stubborn. Stroman behind the cage. Try to feed in front for a wide open Sturm, but he was hit just as he went to get that one. Paradise, good effort on the near side, takes a swipe at it and comes up short.
And Dave, you know, the funny thing in Atlanta, it had snowed about 3 times in the days leading up to that game, and I was telling the neighbors, I said, hey, this is just to let you know that you're playing Syracuse this week.
Yeah. Little Central New York presence down there, huh, in Dixie?
Yeah, there's a lot of Syracuse fans, and they take over a particular bar or restaurant for the football games. We watch you guys via satellite.
By the way, you know, it was that great shot by Cipolla was great, but the pass was really impressive.
Oh, yeah. Here's Rourke Denver, lost the handle. Jackson, a nice job just get a cross on that one.
Ooh.
Matt Doyle couldn't find it. And one more time, Towson comes away. Lee Williams.
Picking up a
defensive
lot of
midi.
ground balls.
Got some great speed into the offensive end, still has it with a right-handed cradle. Lee Williams gets pushed from behind. Finally slows it up. Boom.
They have been coming up with some very important ground ball, 23-18 at this point, but I would have to say the last ones have been most important.
Kevin Travis setting up the offense. Clune has been shut down so far. Again, that Fotopoulos matchup has worked for SU. Clune in front, though, scores! Just as I say that, from his knees, the sophomore attackman Matt Clune was also fouled on the play, able to score it, his first of the day, and Towson has taken a 2-goal lead.
Now Clune's on Fotopoulos. He just moves, takes a shot on the head right there. He went over, tried to go over his head. When you miss over the head that close, he's going to go low, and he did go low.
You know, that is as good an athletic effort as you will see in any sport at any level.
That's right.
How many people will know about a Matt Clune if not for a replay of a game like this? That was just tremendous.
Now you're going to get a taunt there, I believe, against Towson. So I don't know. I thought they saw a slash, but we'll see what's going to happen.
A late flag dropped on the play just as Clune had scored it to give the Tigers that 2-goal lead. Towson bench frantically trying to get their substitutions made. Sturm is out for Syracuse, or rather for Towson. It looks like Smiley for SU.
Well, Smiley was out before. They still got a full complement of defensemen. I'm not sure that if it was it looked like a slash, but then Syracuse got the ball, so looked like
Orangemen have been shut out now for more than 4 minutes in this game. Syracuse on offense, down by 2. Casey Powell brings into the offensive zone. Powell, again from the midfield position, really playing there for the first time ever. Through his junior Pee-wee days and high school at Carthage, always worked on the attack.
So they're even now, down a man. Now Syracuse is up. No, Syracuse is down a man. I'm sorry.
Williams comes back on for Towson and then belts Matt Doyle from behind. Lee Williams right off the bench hammered him, and Doyle was blindsided, never saw it coming. Wow, what a hit. Williams back now, along with Spencer Ford as they bring into the offensive end.
15 seconds on a penalty.
Mason Ray on there as well, second line attacker. Wow, what a hit. Travis works back for Barry Headings. Headings with a full head of steam. Works that one off, and Clune misfires with a shot from the right side.
Now they should be even now. The clock has finally expired. We've been fooled a little bit, a couple times, but let's see what happened here on the... We were going to check that hit. We'll get it later. Right now,
in
open.
Front Headings.
Oh, nice
what a save by Gebhardt. Barry Headings was denied. And a great play by Jason Gebhardt. Outlets to Alexander. Syracuse in the offensive end, but stripped from behind as Alexander tried his spin move. Good play by Spencer Ford. They'll bring the other way. Headings open. Instead, they opt to work it for Travis in front. That one off the side of the pipe, and it'll go out of bounds.
Good hustle. Syracuse ball. Should be Syracuse. It is.
Sean Ryan's shot drew some metal.
Good hustle by Fotopoulos to get to the sideline when the ball went out, gives the ball to Syracuse.
In this game, 8 ties, 6 different lead changes. So it's been a roller coaster, very topsy-turvy. Right now, favoring the Tigers with a good third quarter. Remember when the Orangemen played Georgetown, again, on paper anyway, a weaker team. In the fourth, they exploded for a big, big burst to take that game easily. Rob Cavett had 4 goals on his own in the fourth. That's not a good play, as Gebhardt's clear attempt pass to Sherritt's way over his cross out of bounds. And Coach Simmons showing some concern.
Dale, looks like Roy's taking a page from your book, going conservative on the sideline.
Yep, that's it. He's going.
I don't see any pink shirts, flowery ties.
Can't see it.
I'll tell you what, he traded all for a pass like that.
That outlet pass, Paradise can't handle that one from Whalen, and Coach Runk says, boy, on the road, you're winning a game like that, you don't want to see it happen.
Well, Runk's got to be happy
chance
here.
Again.
He's got to be happy because of all the weather problems we talked about at the top of the show. Down there, you're talking about the South, Dave. He's been playing in ice and snow. He said they'd sweep off the practice field, get a place where they could get some playing time with no ice. So they've had their problems down there.
Normally, teams not elated to come into the Dome. It can be a hostile place for visiting squads to come in, but with all the weather problems they've had in the Baltimore area this year, Coach Carl Runk more than happy to come here. Play in ideal conditions.
Syracuse has to be patient now. They're down by 2 goals. They got a lot of time in this quarter. They got another whole quarter to go. You don't want to force it.
Vanderpool trying to get an edge. Shot to score, Ira Vanderpool. While he was falling down, released it. Quick shot on the right hand. Blazing play, and Ira Vanderpool has pulled the Orangemen to within a goal.
He beat Wildy out about 15 yards out, then takes the shot, and it just goes high, stick side. on Whalen. And Syracuse back to a 1-goal deficit. Now is the time to, if you could save up your faceoffs when you need them, boy, you need them right now. And Syracuse could certainly use another offensive opportunity. Let's see what Price comes up with.
Ira Vanderpool was shut out in last week's loss to Hopkins, has 5 goals as we saw in the season. Casey Powell with some speed, great stick control. Powell feeding Kavich, shot on the one-time is wide.
Good hustle.
As Whalen was there maybe to get a piece of it, but difficult play for Kavich as he was hit just as he went to shoot. Good backup by the Orangeman.
Jackson did a great job. He was in a foot race with Whalen. He beat him by about a foot. So Syracuse gets the ball back. Now they got to be patient.
Doug Jackson has a big offensive game for the Orangemen. So is Jim Morrissey. Senior captain has 3 goals, all in the first half. 12-11 game. Orangemen being outscored 4-3 in the third. Again, the fourth quarter has belonged to Syracuse in 2 of their games this season, the 2 wins. Powell feeding. Sherritts tries to finish. He missed the cage over the goal and the pipe, I'll tell you. He had a wide open area to shoot at, and Andy Sherritts couldn't find it.
And we also talked about the fact that Towson has not been all that spectacular in the fourth quarter.
The Orangemen have had their problems in the third this season. Kavich tried the one-time play in the crease. Sherritts, this time he converts.
Garbage.
The leaping, jumping shot from Andy Sherritts scores a goal, ties it up at 12 apiece. You know that's very special for him, being a native of Baltimore.
Well, that's one of those things we talk about, a garbage goal. The ball's on the crease. What are you going to do with it? Pick it up and put it in the hole, and that's exactly what Sherritts did. He did a great job of being around the ball and getting a shot off without having to set. So Andy Sherritts' 3rd goal of the season, very big for Syracuse, brings it back to 12 apiece.
And no time to think about where to put it. You just pick it up and throw it back over your shoulder and right at the foot of the goalie.
Faceoffs have gone well for the Orangemen so far. David Moore tries to change that.
He's holding the ball from play.
Yeah, that's got to be the call, especially when he's standing on it for a couple seconds.
I don't want to sound biased. No. And obviously I'm wrong.
Push call from behind. That's why you're up here, Dale.
That's right. That's right. I used to be an official. I'm not any longer.
Not often we see Coach Simmons yelling about officials' calls, and we saw that a moment ago. Alexander was there, and so was Rourke Denver and Devin Ackerman. So Ackerman is called for the push, number 26. So now 2:45 and counting to go in the third.
Watch the outside. They're just going to kind of weave. Oh, that was a poor pass. They're going to take their time out on top.
Tim Langton has 2 goals in this quarter. Headings with it. Right-handed cradle, watched by Ackerman. Rolling down to 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Spencer Ford scored very early in this game, and since then has been shut down in the goal department. Sturm with it. He's been dangerous and has a goal here in the third as well. Barry Headings, top of the box. Right wing. Can't get a good angle. Ackerman, nice defense for the freshman.
Trying to get stick on stick. You want to get him that shooting lane.
2-minute mark of the period. Game tied, 12 apiece. Spencer Ford trying to move in on Alexander, the redshirt freshman from West Genesee. Can't find the angle again. Good defensive set for Syracuse.
Absolutely.
Very strong.
Now, if you're a Towson fan, you can say good patience, but that depends on what side of the ball you're on.
Kevin Travis. He's been a thorn in the SU side as well today. Travis and Sturm, the 2 Kevins on attack, and play well. Spencer Ford. Now left-handed shot, bouncing way over the cage. Who's going to back it up? Who's closest? It's going to be Jason Gebhardt. Nice hustle by the SU goalie.
He took the right angle.
In the minute 25, the sophomore netminder helping out SU's cause with big-time hustle. And a turnover maybe that can turn this thing around a bit. On clears, the Orange have done well, 16 of 19. Smiley handles on the near side. Dangerous pass. Knocked down well by Denver on the short hop. Jim Morrissey. As we roll down to a minute to go in the third. Morrissey bidding for his 4th goal of the game. The nags on him. Done a stellar job on D all day long. We mentioned his name a couple of times. Rob Cavett backing in, trying to get physical. Lost the handle, still has it. Feet in front, shot, goal, Carcaterra! Paul Carcaterra scores for the first time in this game. with 45 ticks to go in the third. The Orangemen have regained another lead at 13-12.
Well, they double team Kevin. See the slide right there? Now he takes a shot, bounces off a Towson State defenseman. He flips it over where they had slid a third man over to play him, and it was just a clean alley right down the middle from about 5 yards out for Carcaterra.
So Dave Cohen, you missed the game? Miss watching?
I do miss the game. It's great to be back to watch it in person and to have this advantage of seeing the replays on TV. But right now, I think I'm going to pull a Phil Rizzuto and leave early.
Are you going to retire?
You going to New Jersey?
Got to get across that bridge.
Get across the bridge, that's right.
Tigers coming the other way. Charging in is Wildley, who's been playing mostly defensive midi, and Powell picks his pocket. Casey hit hard, still has possession with 25 seconds of the quarter. What a play. Fotopoulos wide, shoots and scores! Yes! Christian Fotopoulos, the long stick close defender, a rifle shot for the left wing, and the Orangemen lead by 2.
Well, watch Casey Powell. Casey Powell was absolutely mugged. Watch this, bang in the front, bang in the side, slash on the back, and he goes right through it, and he's got, look at the vision, watch the vision. He didn't look there to the last second, and he hit Foto, who takes a big left-hand shot, the 72-incher, and that goes to 14-12 for Syracuse.
Hey, guys, nobody does it better than Adelphia Cable when it comes to covering lacrosse. I'm going to leave you guys with a 2-goal lead.
Thanks, Dave.
Don't blow it, right? Dave Cohen, thanks very much for joining us. Best of luck with the Yanks.
Hey, see you during the season.
We'll be watching you. 14-12 Syracuse. Orangemen just 19 ticks trying to do it again here in the third. Morrissey in front. Jim Morrissey spins and scores! Jim Morrissey is 4th of the game. Got loose on the right wing and put it home, and the Orangemen with a quick burst at the end of the period now lead by 3.
This is quite a turnaround because we were just talking about them not being especially effective in the third quarter. They made a lot of hay here in the last part of the third quarter. Lucky bounce, Morrissey picks it up. Unsettled situation and a loose ball, and Jim Morrissey knows what to do. He picks up number 4.
The Orangemen have rattled off 5 goals in a row. Down at 1 point, 12-10, now lead 15-12 with 14 ticks left in the third. 3 goals in 31 seconds for the Orangemen. That's explosion we talked about. No question. Chuck Walton with a long stick shoots that one well wide. Back up by Stern with 1 second left in the quarter. Just 1 tick left. Toby Price is coming off with a limp. And maybe a new goalie ready. Wyatt Shiflett, number 1, getting set with just 1 second. They try a one-time play to Paradise. He can't handle it. Syracuse scores 5 in a row on Carl Runk's Towson Tigers. We're done with 3 quarters from the Dome. Back to the 4th quarter after these words. Syracuse leads it by 3. Welcome back, everyone. 4th quarter action underway. Syracuse a 15-12 lead via 5-goal run, Dale Drypolcher. An amazing spurt that we saw against Georgetown in the first Supersports game of the season, but that was in the 4th quarter. 5-0 run over 4:01 on the game clock. Amazing.
You know, Casey Powell had a lot to do with that. He just dominating and running and getting the ball to people, and then he's got such a great cast with him. Morrissey, you guys have just played a tremendous game, and that was the spurt that you got to think that you need. We got a new goalie in now for Towson.
Yep,
who's at number 1?
Is in. Yep. Wyatt Shiflett, who has been the backup this year to Brian Whalen. They'll test him early on, try the one-time play Morrissey, but Shiflett, good hustle. And his first exchange is there for the backup. And the Orangemen turn it over. Just underway.
And they are really putting a ride on.
You know what? You got a player playing with half a stick.
Can't do that.
He lost almost the entire... I tell you, I saw part of it fly off. Michael Gravener lost most of his long stick there, number 34, and
it's lucky he got a timeout. That's illegal.
And a timeout is called for Towson State. Coach Simmons can't believe it because of the equipment problem. Kevin Donahue on the SU bench is livid.
If you play with a broken stick, you can't do that. That's that simple. And now what they say, they got the timeout in before they saw it, apparently.
If so, that was a very much heads-up play.
Yeah,
from Towson State to realize it. There he is.
Now, it's hard to see. I mean, it's not hard for us to see right there, but that's like one of those little outdoor games you play.
Yeah.
One of those, yeah.
He was pretending he had the full stick. That was the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
It really was a great effort from Graebner, a 6'2", 200-pound senior from Towson, Maryland.
It was like he had it in his hand.
I saw the shaft fly out.
I didn't see it till after you mentioned it. It must have, but then when you see the replay, here he is playing. You can't do that.
Assistant John Desco, former Orangeman, and as we said, former West Genesee Wildcat, along with Kevin Donahue, both came through both programs and have been together at SU for several years. Carl Runk, 29th season with 244 victories. The coach of the year 1974 when they won their national championship.
Now, when they took Whalen out, he looked all right to me. He didn't appear to be hurt or anything. Just a barrage of shots. I think perhaps they figured that he needed a little bit of a break from seeing that white pill go by him so often there in the third quarter. That was a dramatic change, and obviously the momentum is gone to Syracuse, but they're going to have to capitalize on it because Towson got that timeout in.
Substitute Wyatt Shiflett. Intercepted. What a play by Cabot. Wide open goal. He's wrestled down. He still scores it. Oh, what an effort by Rob Cabot. I can't believe that play. He was wrestled down to the ground by Wyatt Shiflett, literally tackled, and Cabot gets the shot off from his knees. Orangemen lead by 4. Fantastic play.
Great play by Shiflett, really. I mean, you got nothing to lose. You might as well try the penalty, but watch what he does. He's just going to tackle him. Right there he does. He tackles him, and Cabot from his knees just flicks it right in the hole. We have seen everything in this game, and that is one of the classics. That's got to be a highlight reel right there.
Rob Cabot is 2-3 in this game, and I think he'll remember that one for a long time. Called his mom today after the game. Yeah, I scored from my knee.
Goalie tackled
by the goalie. Cummings off the faceoff. Orangeman on a roll. Still trying to get this spurt in gear. It's a 6-0 run. Cummings shoots and scores! Ryan Cummings. Laser beam for the left wing. No chance for Shiflett, the substitute goalie, to stop that one. And the Orangemen are pumped. They have rolled off 7 goals in a row against the Tigers.
Well, they're just a long looping pass, and boy, you see the slide was there by Wolfman, number 45, but he didn't get there in time, and Cummings just lasered that one into the net.
Man, was that blistered. Carl Runk says, what happened? We were winning in this game a minute ago. It was 12-10.
Who's got the clipboard? I mean, it's tough. When did this happen? This is a very difficult situation for Towson.
Langton trying to take the face-off. Penalty flag dropped. Towson getting frustrated as Powell comes away with it. SU fans not pleased about the call. Alexander is very unhappy coming off the field. It's sorted out. Oh my goodness!
It's got to be a hold. Yeah, there's the hold right there by Wildy, and then there's just an inconsequential smack. So they gave him a minute. Okay, that was going to say that was a pretty impressive push, which then nudges it over into the tripping category.
Casey Powell has that left knee taped up. Looks like it could be a carpet burn that he suffered this week in practice. So Wildy is out. 1 minute for tripping. Released only by a goal. 13:45 and counting in the fourth. Orangemen have rolled off 7 in a row and now have a big lead. Doyle trying to add to that. Morrissey behind the cage. Orangemen the man up. Carcaterra shoots. That one wide. Backed up by Morrissey.
Opted for the zone defense there, Dave. I was just going to say shift a little bit. Give the goalie a little chance to regain his composure there, and let's go to his zone.
Morrissey to Jackson. Doug Jackson in a couple of big plays early in this game. Powell feeding in the slot to Matt Doyle. Lost the handle. Morrissey regains.
Well, I'm looking up. They don't have the time on the penalty. I don't know how much time there is left.
15 and counting left in the fourth. Syracuse up by 5 and the ball, the man up. Cabot fakes a pass, fools the defender badly, then feeds top of the box. Carcaterra thought about winding and just lost the handle. Never had it. Dalski working hard for Towson, trying to regain. Finally, the Tigers come away with it. Stromberg with a long stick got it. Dalski then regains. Powell commits the second penalty flag in the one-play sequence.
Could be 2 men down for Syracuse.
Yeah, I think we're going to have it at least. We'll have to sort this mess out. There was a penalty flag dropped in the defensive zone for Towson before Dulski gets hit here.
Yeah, that's a
by
hold.
Casey Powell on a hold.
Should be, well, I don't know what they're going to call it. Looked like a hold to me. I'm talking about a zone defense. I don't know they're man down because the clock up here didn't work, and I was looking to see. Now I said, no wonder they were in a zone. They were a man down. Now we'll see what happens. So they are. Okay, so Syracuse is down 2 men for 30 seconds. And don't forget, you can't get a release on that.
So Langdon in the offensive end will re-trigger.
2 men down.
A wild play. Orangemen are down 2 men, only 4 guys out there. Harvey Saccharin is out there, the freshman from West Genesee. As
put your 2 men.
to,
you know, as the coach looks and says, "What's our 2-man down defense?" And they probably have one.
Well, they got it.
Yep.
Towson trying to convert on second man up. Shot saved
Oh.
by Gebhardt as Clune was rejected. What a play.
That's part of the
Jason
2-man down
Gebhardt, who got a
defense,
piece.
is to have the goalies get in front of it.
Right, Jason Gebhardt felt he was closest to that one. Matt Clune wins the race for the backup. He re-triggers.
All right, Syracuse gets 1 guy back, Dave.
So a 30-second penalty elapsed. Alexander comes back in for the Orangemen.
Down 1.
Still down 1 for another 30 seconds.
Oh, Photo got a stick on it.
That one broken up inside, but Clune gets the rebound and knocks it in. Matt Clune, number 4, the sophomore attackman who last year had 28 goals and 9 assists to lead the Tigers as a Frosh. Gets the rebound here. Fotopoulos did break that Spencer Ford shot up initially, and then Clune regains and puts it home.
It's called a classic unsettled situation. You know, you make a stop, you go for the ball, you're out of position, the ball bounces away from you, and Clune knew what to do with it, and he brings Towson back to within 4. Faceoffs become ever more important as the game clock winds down.
Price on faceoff tries to win for Syracuse. Nearly stripped away by Waltman, who got a piece of it. Whistle blows with 11:59 to go in the period.
Play on push.
Play on push against Towson, so the Orangemen will take it back from Coach Carl Runk and the Tigers.
You know, we say a play on push, people just, they don't stop the action. If it appears you're going to get the ball, they let you stay, but if you lose the ball, then they stop it. They let you play on until it determines that you're going to lose it, then they give it to the appropriate party.
Ryan Cummings, Syracuse. Transfer from Johns Hopkins. Aren't the Orangemen glad Cummings came back home to Central New York? Ira Vanderpool had a big goal in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, he's going to get doubled there if he...
Vanderpool still with it, left-handed cradle, double team, still has control, great strength. Cross-field pass from Morrissey. They're working it to Carcaterra on the one time, and it's stopped nicely. Shiflett got a piece of it, Doyle on the backup. Syracuse still has it in the offensive end. Cavett behind the cage. Watched closely there by Gravener. Paul Carcaterra resets, top of the box.
Don't be too impatient. This is a time to take a little time off the clock, Dave. There's 11-11 left. You got a 4-goal lead, which is not insurmountable by any means. You saw how quickly Syracuse scored 3 in 31 seconds. So you got to play the averages and play the clock.
Morrissey to Doyle. Matt Doyle works in. Doyle still with it, feeding this time. Morrissey, tough angle, can't get the shot off. Cavett behind the back, he scores! Rob Cavett does it, the circus shot. What a goal. Orangemen lead by 5 again, 18-13. A super feed from Jim Morrissey.
Just a nice look, and Kavovich says, you know, I see the guys sliding over. There's only one thing I can do. They're going to get stick on stick, so they're sliding for my stick. I'll put it away from them, and the only way to do that is behind the back, Dave, and that was a super shot.
3 goals, 3 assists for Rob Cavett, who again coming up with a huge game. The Orangemen have doubled Towson on faceoff so far. Rob Cavett has 16 goals this year, 9 assists, 25 points to lead SU in scoring. Price comes away with possession. That's a big one. Off to Smiley with a long stick. Could he be thinking shot? Pass instead. Nice feed. Works for Cavett, lost it in front. Orangemen trying to regain. Doyle just hacking at his man.
There's some smashing
Matt
going
Doyle
on out
got
there.
Slammed to the turf, so did Doug Jackson. Cavett still had it his cross, and he's pushed from behind. May even have a slash on this one. It's a hold going to be called, technical hold.
You know, you can hear the aluminum in the fiberglass down there. Let's see what we can hear. Sounds like a fencing match. Click, 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 click.
I didn't know you're an expert on fencing.
Well, just a little bit, yeah.
Michael Graebner, 32nd technical foul goes against the Towson Tigers. 10:14 to go. Penalties so far. Towson has racked up 7 minutes to 4 for the Orangemen. Casey Powell, the Carcaterra. Streaking in Doyle behind the cage. Jim Morrissey, quick left-handed shot, he scores it.
Boy, he's been cranking
He is
some in.
mastering, Dale, the shuffle shot as he just releases very quickly down low and the goalies can't stop it.
Yeah, he looks high. Watch where he starts out, Dave. He comes around, watch the left hand. See, it's high, I'm going to pass. No, I'm not. I'm going to bring it high, and then I'm going to go low, and I'm going to put it by you. And I get 19 for my team, and 5 for me. So 7 points for Morrissey. What a fantastic game he's played. And you can't say enough about the fact that as Towson takes a timeout, how much Syracuse has been beneficiaries of this face-off. They've been able to control it when they needed to. For a while, though, they had a great bulge in the face-offs, but they weren't winning. But now they've been able to be much more efficient with their face-offs.
So they have picked it up from Saturday's loss to Johns Hopkins. Again, we refer to this game a lot because not only the last game SU played, but one of the best teams in the nation. 5th are the Blue Jays this week in the poll. Let's check out NCAA Lacrosse. Hobart, Syracuse. That's coming up March 24th at 7 o'clock right here on Cable 13. Be sure to stay tuned for Super Sports.
Should be a good matchup with Hobart.
9:59 to go here.
Hobart, a team that is somebody to be reckoned with in Division I. They just made the switch a couple of years ago, still getting their feet wet and getting the recruiting down, and they could give Syracuse a good tussle.
In fact, the Statesmen play later here today at the Carrier Dome, Dale, part of a doubleheader.
That's right, yeah, right after we're done here. Huh?
Hobart takes on Dartmouth. Statesmen 16th in the nation. Dartmouth number 18 in a tie with Harvard right now, a couple Ivy League schools. Head coach Roy Simmons Jr., 26th year on the SU Hill. What more can you say about the guy? 6 national titles. Hall of Famer. Absolute and complete living legend, no doubt.
Yep. A lot of people ask, how many more years does he want? I mean, what else do you have to prove? And he just loves the game, and
no doubt about that.
He's got to love this team and what they've done here for him in the third quarter, and now into the fourth. They've taken control.
All right, Paradise and Price battling at midfield for the faceoff. Comes away to Alexander. He's by his man. Matt Alexander carries in. With a right-hand cradle, Syracuse again on the attack. Jim Morrissey. He's had a fantastic game. The senior captain is all over the field on offense. He's working on Stromberg. Kutai and Sheritz will come on for SU's midfield. Rob Cavett behind the cage. Under 9.5 to go in the fourth. Syracuse a comfortable 6-goal lead after trailing for much of this game. Vanderpool knocks his man over and Paradise shoots, and that one wide. Ira Vanderpool put a hurt on number 11, his man, Todd Paradise.
And you can do it. It wasn't a free hand either. It wasn't a free hand. Watch, that's just he's holding on to the stick. That's fine. That's legal. That's a Jim Brown move.
Triggering play. Doug Jackson a fade to Sheritz a little bit high and wide. He was open. He's hating missing that wide open cage. SU over 12 minutes, scoring 9 of 10 goals scored in this one. Amazing run the Orangemen have turned on. We talked about that before it happened, Dale, but normally it happens in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Happened a bit early.
In fact, we'd even said that they weren't being particularly successful in the third quarter. Then the last couple of minutes, they really caught fire.
Yeah, just as we put that graphic up here on Super Sports.
Yeah, right.
SU goes in a huge run.
Really helped them out, must be, because they have now carried it over into the fourth, and now they're, I think, going to take their time, as we said. Let's take some time off the clock. Now it's a 6-goal lead. We've had the shootout. Let's just settle down and take the time off the clock.
Jackson watched by Rich Walsh on this defensive play for Towson. SU running a bit of Towson's offense here. Slow down and milk the clock with a big lead. Cavett behind the cage. Still with it. Pushed aside by his defensive player and Graebner, but Rob Cavett, the junior from Yorktown Heights, keeps on controlling. Orangemen turned it on in the third with a 7-4 advantage and haven't looked back since. Vanderpool charged in, lost control at the llast minute in front. Kutaya lost the handle, and great behind the back shot put from Jackson, and that one wide.
You know, just checking Syracuse's shots, 32 shots, 19 goals. That's pretty hot shooting for a team, I'll tell you that. That's really efficient.
Coach Runk has put down that clipboard for the moment. Looks like the numbers aren't adding up for him. SU a comfortable lead, 7:40 to go in the fourth. And one thing also, Dale, we haven't seen in a while is a bad SU pass in the offensive zone. They've been very careful, good ball handling, and that's changed things around. You have possession a long time, you're going to be dominant. Jackson is fouled from behind. Slow whistle, penalty flag dropped. SU still has possession. Rob Cavett works in the wing. Morrissey lost the handle, and here comes the foul. It's going to be a 30-second technical hold. Going against number 40, Rich Walsh. So he'll sit with 7:11 to go in the fourth.
So Syracuse is going to get their, 10th? That was a 10th penalty on Towson. So they will sit. Syracuse will have a chance to go into the 20s. Carl Runk, a heck of a nice guy. Talk to you about anything, and he loves lacrosse. And a lot of guys a little busy, but he's very gracious. He talked to Dave and I for as long as we wanted to stand out there with him.
For the game. Actually a graduate of Arizona.
Yeah.
And then came back to start the Towson football and lacrosse programs, and left football just to concentrate on lax. Carcaterra winds off the pipe and in. Paul Carcaterra from the left side scores, and we're going to hear that goal and see that goal and just listen up. And we'll check it out as Carcaterra puts it home.
You know, after you hear that, you think you ought to be fitted for one of those Kevlar vests. I'm not sure.
As a goalie?
Yes. My gracious, that was that sounded like somebody hit it with a big old stick. And now we're going to get a new goalie. And that will be number 39, Whalen back in.
Return. Yep. So I guess Shiflett has had enough. Coach Runk takes him out. Faced a couple of tough shots, made one or two good plays, and it's just been all Orangemen since the end of the third quarter. That run has continued. Moore tripped up, no call, got rid of the ball, did a nice job just to release it. And it's picked up by Kevin Travis on the left side. Clune behind the cage, has 2 goals in this game. .620 and counting in the fourth. Headings pushed from behind by Toby Price, who's played very well, especially at faceoffs. Dale, he's been key.
Done a super job and really kept him in it when they needed to be.
Clune,
nice
from
check
behind
photo.
Papadopoulos. Played a great game himself. Sturm lost it. They tried to trip his man up out of frustration. Syracuse tried to break out. Cavett lost the handle, and Headings gets it back at midfield. Langton will bring into the offensive zone. Towson on a charge. Sturm, right-handed cradle, trying to get free. Checked hard. Down to Williams. A shot and a score, Lee Williams. Blisters one in with 5:45 to go in the fourth, but it's probably not going to be enough for the Tigers. They're down by 6.
You see right here's the push, and then the one-handed pass, and Williams takes the uncontested shot.
First goal of the '96 season for Lee Williams. Seen some quality playing time. Defensive midi, a senior from Geneva, so he is from Hobart territory. Must have family and friends in the stands today at the Dome, about an hour or so west of Syracuse. Home of the one-time dominant Statesman in Division III. Doyle passing, Cavett shooting, and that one over the cage.
A little high.
Oh, was he open? I can't believe he missed it. That's unusual for Rob Cavett, who's just continued his excellence in this game. Jackson handling. Walsh on him with a long stick. Cavett behind the cage. Rolling down toward 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Orangemen up by 6. Casey Powell, left-handed cradle. Pass in front was errant, but Jackson there to scoop it up. Lucky break. Syracuse still controlling and taking their time, letting the air out of the ball a bit with a big lead.
I was thinking about Casey Paul when he ran through those 3 guys. What a point in the game that was to really
got the crowd going,
Yes.
too. That's one thing that over a long period of time when Towson dominated, the crowd was completely out of it. Jeff Lowe in the game for Syracuse, handling. Good feet, Kutaya makes a fake, makes a shot, and that one wide. Penalty flag is dropped, though. Matt Kutaya missing the mark on the left-handed shot. Slash call this time against Carl Runk's team, and it's just gone way downhill in the third and fourth quarters. Coach Roy Simmons, though, different story, as the Orangemen will break out of their mini losing streak at one game. Waltman whistled for a 1-minute slash. Now, it's interesting to note also, Dale, last year SU was 2-2. They played Towson down in Maryland, won the game, obviously 16-10, then rolled off 10 more wins in a row. That was part of a streak. The question is, can that be the same thing this season?
The newspaper had kind of, asked whether it would be, deja vu. Would they be able to do the same thing? And I'm telling you, it was a very, very close game until the end of the third quarter. And then Towson, just 3 goals in 31 seconds kind of changed the momentum.
Doyle works for Jackson. It's quite possible all the problems that Towson Tigers have had in terms of getting practice time.
I was
Full
thinking that
field
they
down there
played
could
so
hurt.
well for so long.
Yeah, true.
I mean, they really played well for, and not that they're not playing well now. They're just, it's just a question of, I was very surprised they played as well as they did, not in terms of ability. They get good players, but it was just with the lack of practice, and they did a swell job in the first 3 quarters.
Nice outlet play to Ian Wildley. Brings into the offensive end for Towson. Tigers not giving up yet. 3.5 to go in the fourth. Penalty releases, so Towson a nice job of killing that 1-minute slash off. And a shot and a score despite being hammered from behind. What a job by Kevin Travis. With a right-handed bouncer, he was able to score it for the Tigers to make it a 2015 game.
He likes that free arm push, doesn't he? And then he gets held, so that'll be... He didn't connect with it, so it doesn't count, but he did a nice job of getting the goal. That's his second. He's got an assist, 3 points on the day. It's wiped out by the goal, the penalty was. Syracuse got a new goalie in, right? Is that a new goalie? No. Just checking.
Gebhardt's still in there.
I saw him warming somebody up on the sideline,
Right.
and they thought he might have snuck him in. They did not.
You saw Eric Fleming at one point, the freshman from East Rockaway, New York, Lynbrook High School, getting ready. Rodriguez takes the face off.
Yeah, no, he's moving, so
right.
it'll go the...
Procedure call, so
Yep.
he's immediately out. We talked with Coach Simmons about his comeback attempt, Rodriguez, from blowing his knee out after transferring from Penn, and it's just not quite ready yet. He can't move exactly the way Coach Simmons wants him to in terms of speed. He's almost ready, though. Rehab's been a slow process. Towson on attack. Travis scored a moment ago. Clune, shot, score! Matt Clune is open from the slot, scores from 10 yards out with a blistering play over Gebhardt and his right shoulder, and all of a sudden it's 2016 with 3:04 to go.
This is not over yet. We've been talking maybe like it is, but Towson certainly hasn't been listening to us, and to their credit, they just put in number 16, and it's a 4-goal game. You know the spurts. You got to control the face-offs. And if you don't, if you're Syracuse, you get in trouble. If you're Towson, you can get back in. It's like scoring a basket in basketball and then getting the ball back.
3:04 to go. Price trying to win the faceoff from Moore. All of a sudden, a burst of excitement here for Towson as they realize they're within striking distance, and Stroman brings it into the offensive end. So hold on. Let's not get all the reserves and count this as a win yet for Syracuse. Travis being tripped up by Denver. Works it out for Barry Headings, the senior from Towson, Maryland. Nice play by Casey Powell on the strip. Headings trying to regain, does. Casey Powell diving flake from behind, strips it away. What an effort by the sophomore from Carthage. That is a great defensive play.
And he gets the ball back, yeah.
See if he can finish himself. Casey Powell maybe a bit winded after that tremendous diving defensive play to strip it away from Headings. And the Orangemen will reset.
You need a lung transplant. This kid is up and down playing defense.
Goal is wide open.
Yeah, they're going after the ball.
They
no
have
doubt
to.
about
It's
it.
a wide open
Oh!
goal. Vanderpool tripped by a defenseman. Ball loose. Sherritt spinning, shooting, and he scores. Andy Sherritt gets it behind the defensemen who are retreating to try to help out when Whalen was playing on the extra defense.
Kind of an analogy of pulling the goalie in a hockey game. They'll get him out, let him play defense, and you risk the chance of an open goal. And there's a shot off one of the defensemen, saved by the foot, but then again, Sherritt gets the ball, and it's basically an open goal with a defenseman trying to play goalie. So it's 21-16 with 1:57 left. Been an exciting and a well-played lacrosse game. It's certainly been exciting.
High scoring indeed. Paradise wins the faceoff away. Travis is hit hard from behind. Foul's going to be called against Syracuse and Andy Rodriguez.
So they'll be down Syracuse's sixth penalty. 30-second variety.
Technical push call on Rodriguez, number 33. He is out. 30 seconds. Buck 44 to go in this one. Orangemen up again by 5. Man up so far for Towson, 2 of 6. Wine shot to score. Boy, Tim Langton
He's had a day.
just took his time and blistered that one by Gebhardt. And one more time, it's a 4-goal game at 21-17.
Yeah, just man down. He takes a 4 or 5 step crank shot, and that's going to hurt you anytime.
Langton has scored 4 in this game.
He's been
Came
tough.
in having some problems on offense. Only 1 goal to his credit this season. Well, he's lit it up today.
Broke out of his slump,
4,
didn't he?
no question. Toby Price wins possession. Back to Gebhardt. Orangeman trying to salt this one away, up by 4 late. Cummings from his D-midi spot.
You can hang around there for a long time, and once you get across, then they start the count again. But you can hang around in no man's land there for a while. He was trying to take some time off the clock.
Langdon trying to take
Timeout?
a hack at him. They have a timeout called. Now we do. The Orangemen want to stop the clock to talk things over with 1:14 to go in the 4th quarter. Syracuse a 21-17 lead. So Coach Simmons, Desco, Donahue will meet and get a strategy together for the final moments of this game. As we said, next up for the Orangemen, they've got a quick rest before they play the Hobart Statesmen. And one thing that Coach Simmons couldn't do, Dale, was scout this Towson team. Getting some ice treatment there, one of the
back,
Tigers.
yeah.
Back injury. One thing's for sure, they're going to see Hobart right in their own building. Coming up next as they play Dartmouth, the second part of a doubleheader for
That's
lacrosse.
right. Makes it easy to scout. All you got to do is take a shower and come back out.
And you can see that game on Super Sports. Be sure to stay tuned. March 29th, 8 o'clock, Cable 13, Hobart and Syracuse. As the Orangemen battle of statesmen in what used to be Division I against Division III powerhouse. Now both schools are D1. And of course for B.J. O'Hara and the statesmen, it's going to be a big adjustment. It's going to take some time to gain a foothold, I think, in Division I.
I think they've made a dent, and it's just a question of, it takes a while. You look at Dave Yorick down at Georgetown. It took, people said, oh, that'll happen in two or 3 years. Well, it takes a little longer than that. And there's a lot of talent out there, but there's more schools playing lacrosse, and you got to get the right talent. And it's interesting to see exactly how Hobart is becoming a Division I team. They're doing a good job of it.
Orange in that big 3rd quarter. Things have evened out a bit in the 4th, though, with a late Towson run to make it respectable. Casey Powell. What are they talking about? Having some pizza later or something?
Could be, yeah.
Something unrelated totally to lacrosse?
I'll tell you one thing, you look at this game and you say, you guys play well. There's 2 ways of looking at it. Gave up 17 goals, and, you got to work. We knew that was going to be something they were going to have to work on, and this Towson team is a good team.
Scott Hoskins watching Casey Powell, tries to sprint around 2 defenders and successfully does so. Around the perimeter.
Went out of the box.
Yeah, he does.
Can't go out of the box in the last
Procedure
2 minutes.
call.
You got to stay in there. So
that is a turnover. They try to give it to Powell to salt away some clock. Fotopoulos couldn't handle that one. Morrissey, great job just to gain it and regain while he was spinning around. Intercepted by Towson. Charged in, shot, and a score. And the Tigers will not give up in this game, plain and simple.
Well, 44 seconds left. They're going to get number 18, and it's going to be a 3-goal game. that was just one of those loose balls going down the middle of the field right in front of the goalie. The goalie hates that because when somebody comes up with it, you got to make a late adjustment, and he couldn't do it there. As
Ian Wildey gets it. Yep.
That's the 18th.
His first goal of the year. So Syracuse certainly has had some problems defending this team today. And that's what we've talked about, the close defense, making adjustments. It's been a big story with this team all year long, and there's more work to be done.
Oh, boy.
40 seconds left. Spencer Ford wins it away.
Doesn't want to take too much time.
We've got to get a shot up pretty quickly. Langton looking for his 5th. That one deflected.
Syracuse.
And the Orangemen back it up. They sure do. Nice effort by Jason Gebhardt, the sophomore goalie for Syracuse, with just 30 seconds left.
He's been very impressive. I mean, I know it's 18 goals, but he's been impressive and come up with some good passes when he needs to be. Syracuse photo gets it down the sideline.
Good strength for Price. And he works back for Alexander. Nice job. In front, their wide open goal. As the Towson goalie, Brian Whalen, there to back that one up with 13 ticks left.
He's just going to throw it down.
He's got to heave it for someone. Ford is there, picks it up. Spencer Ford to the offensive end, winds, passes for Clune, too far though. And a turnover just with 2 seconds left. A little frustration push there from Matt Clune, the sophomore. But give Towson some credit here, Dale.
Yeah, absolutely.
They made this a game, no question about it. It's over from the Dome today. 21-18 is the final. Jason Gebhardt and Roy Simmons Jr. advance with a victory over Towson. Syracuse, 7th in the nation, now 3-2. Dale, quickly your final thoughts on this one today.
Well, as we said, they got a little bit of work to do defensively. They don't want to give up 18 goals every game, but I think they're getting better. We talked about the improvement, and that's exactly what they want to do. Clamp down on the defense a little bit. Offense looked good, had a big surge in the third quarter.
So Syracuse takes this one 21-18. The Towson Tigers drop to 1-3. Orangemen are 3-2. Next up on Super Sports, be sure to join us. The Hobart Statesmen, Central New York rivals from Geneva, take on the Syracuse Orangemen March 29th, 8 o'clock here on Cable 13. Now for my broadcast partner, Dale Drypolger, the entire Cable 13 sports crew, this is Dave Ryan saying so long from the Dome.